Robbie, do it. Love my girl. Hey, it's the Bennington Show. Tuesday. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
I'm Ron Bennington. Chris Stanley. Quick question. Why hasn't Jack White ever fucking covered that song? What is wrong with Mr. Jack White?
I'm not sure.
Thank you. No further questions for you. I asked for an expert, not a goddamn... Anyway, here's the point, ladies and gentlemen. That would have been perfect for Jack White. Let's cover some fucking... let's Jack White, get back... Let me manage you, because I will get you back in the fucking game like never before, sir.
He doesn't seem focused right now. What's he doing? He's all over the place. He's got projects.
That record company.
He's got Everything But Meg. You know what I mean? That's the fucking album you should put it out. Everything But Meg. I don't give a shit whether you're making vinyl in fucking Detroit. That's crazy talk. Anybody could do that. Yesterday, as you know, I went over to be part of the Anthony Cumia get together. Actually, the last day, officially, of the Anthony Cumia show. It's going to run off for a while. He had put together like a Fun to Tell the Truth group. And we were all supposed to pretend we were his new, co-host, despite the fact that, the word had leaked like the fucking Trump White House. So everybody knew. And then last night I went to do Ari Shafir's unnamed storytelling show,
awesome.
Which is at the Underground, and that was just crazy and fun, and I'll let you know. I'll do that one first. So I get there, and I'm gonna go on third, and just the premise is girl power. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know whether a lot of people feel like they have girl power stories they're ready to go to. You know what I mean?
Which one?
So I'm talking to Jim beforehand, and Joe List was later in the night, but I'd already left. But so I see, and Norton is just looking at his phone like, what the fuck do I have for this? What do I have? And he put together, his thing was just a collection of short stories. Just some were just like a one-liner, and some were and it's all about him being a perverted little kid with girls, and I mean really little. When he was a child, he was very. And then he told some hilarious three-way stories with him and Voss, and one that took place in a park. But I mean, he's just you forget because you work with him. But, I'm watching the audience. He's just fucking great. I mean, just crazy great. And then next, the guy I have to follow, TJ Miller.
Wow.
The fucking movie star, TV star, whatever. And TJ, his arm is in a sling. He says his wife broke his arm. I never, you know what I mean? And he's just running up and down the steps, and he's being, TJ Miller. He starts into a girl story. I think he sees it's going nowhere, and then we get 10 minutes on cats. You know what I mean? It looks like it was something straight out of his act. So it was just an amazing, fun night. Here's the funny thing about TJ Miller. So, Ari doesn't tell anybody who's coming in. I also like that premise. I know that it's annoying for people, but it's fun to see the audience. Here's TJ Miller. And, there are people like, oh, but then they see him. It's fucking amazing how many people only know his face and not the name.
Yeah.
Because we pay too much attention to comedy, you get to realize that people, they don't know fucking shit.
Right.
And then they're just like, hey, TJ Miller. Holy shit, that fucking God. Weird guy.
I know him.
So that's fun, and that whole thing just runs like Disney World now. They're just sending people to different rooms, and there's lines. There's a bunch of young people. They're just like, just sign me up. Get me in any room you can.
Wow.
Just any room you can get me in, I'm happy to do it. So Ari has to, tell people, this is a storytelling show. You're not going to get a bunch of jokes. And by the way, Ari, the audience pops for him, because I was with him all last winter. But since this Netflix stuff, they just pop for him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
I'm
amazing.
So glad.
It's amazingly cool. And it's just so interesting how people need something to get excited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's a thing from my television set. I get it now.
I've seen that in my home.
Yeah, they just love it. So now I'm going to get back to the Anthony thing. So the premise was it's to tell the truth. So the thing starts off with a bunch of us saying, I'm going to be his new co-host, right? We've taped these things on our phone. So it's me, Mr. Jim Norton, the other man I call 3 shows a day. Okay? He's ready to rock. Voss, Bobby Kelly, Nick DiPaolo, and of course, Artie. The show starts. Only me and Norton are there. They have this huge thing set up for 6 people. There's 3 of us sitting there. No one else is there. I'm looking around at his staff. They're not freaking. They're not panicking. Finally, I'm like, where the fuck are the other people at? And we're going to do this whole thing. So they start making calls. They finally get around to making calls. Bobby's doing something. Voss is doing something.
Oh my God.
No one had reached Nick DiPaolo. And, Artie was God knows where.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Why am I sweating? Like, it just, like, that made me so nervous. What you just said.
You know what makes me nervous is other people don't, they don't have. It was just like, I don't know. I thought it was going to be good, but I guess these guys aren't coming. I said to Chris this morning, if that was my show, I'd still be punching. I'd still be running around punching people.
Oh my God.
I just want to say to my entire staff, I'm trying to pass on like a professional broadcasting thing to you. I think it'll be helpful because I think most places you'd like the show to come off as advertised. But then Artie does come in. He sits down. And again, you can get caught up with, Artie, I hope he fucking straightens this up. All that stuff is true, Why is he his own worst enemy? All that's true. But when he sits down, he's so fucking funny. And his mind is just like this computer. He's just doing scenes from movies and quotes and little voices that you never even think of him as a voice guy. He's fucking great. I mean,
Right.
And I've worked with him many times, and you just forget, you just forget he's just fucking great. So that show is going to start in September, and they're calling it the AA show, and they got both their fucking jailhouse picks up.
Yeah.
What is that called?
Mugshot.
Mugshots up, yeah. And then,
It's very funny.
I said to both of them, it's funny until it's not. You know what I mean? And just
Till there's a more current one.
Don't be the worst thing to happen to each other. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, but there's no grown-ups. That's the fucking problem. You do, as much as we all hate suits, and you have every right to, you need some suits around there.
At least one suit.
I don't know. Sometimes I think you need 50 suits to every one funny person. And that's why the fucking corporate world is so fucking terrible, because you can't trust talent. But I hope it works out for both of them. They're 2 of the funniest fucking people. And I was down and everybody was asking me last night at the Underground, hey, what do you think of those guys together? I think they're 2 of the funniest fucking guys that I ever met in my life. There's no doubt. Anthony's fucking unbelievably funny, and Artie's unbelievably funny. And they're going, this will probably, take Anthony away from some of that alt-right stuff. I go, no. You know what I mean? Because I just, we'll be just cruising along doing stuff. And then, he fucking sincerely gets crazy about, like all of us do from time to time, this fucked up country that we live in. Speaking of which, last night, Trump, he's doing what the military wants him to do. Is like the one thing. It's like all the America First people are so disappointed because, they're like, we thought you believed all that stuff about it's trillions of dollars, it's unwinnable. And you just see him doing this thing last night. It just seemed like his heart isn't in it.
Yeah.
They just were saying that. I'm sure that he heard stuff from the military, like, you will be the last president, but he's not fully committed to win. When I brought Ant yesterday, thought before it happened, he goes, he thought he was going to make the thing that he's out. And I'm like, no, I hear 5,000 more troops. And Aunt goes, then why not 500,000 more? You know what I mean? Like, let's end it. But we can't end these things.
No.
They're impossible.
And it was so vague. It was like meandering and vague. And I think for that reason, it had no one going, well, this is great news, because there are people who wanted to double down. There are people who wanted to pull out. There are people who hate war no matter what. So it almost like didn't really appeal to anyone.
If you, Ann Coulter put out a tweet last night that says it doesn't matter who wins. The military industrial complex moves on no matter who the president is. And it's a very truthful thing that we're just stuck with this fucking bit, you know. I mean, like I'm sure they gave him a million reasons why he can't get out, and I'm sure he's saying I don't want to put 500,000 troops. So we're stuck with this weird, awful, costly to human lives and American money fucking limbo that we've been in for 17 years or whatever.
Yeah,
but we're in it in other places. It's like when a couple weeks ago, when people thought we were going to attack Korea, and they're going, we should have done this fucking decades ago. And I go, dude, we did. It was a fucking stalemate in the 50s. It was a nightmare there. And it's been a nightmare for every president. And Trump is going to do what every other president did, is just try to hand us off to the next president. Right. Just try to get to the end of your time. And, you know, when you've ever worked a job where there's 3 shifts, all you want to do is fucking just get the, 100%. You know, get enough to like, hey, I tried to call that guy. Here's his number. You know what I mean? Whatever you can do, just so that your shift is over, and then you go home and you have nothing to do with that problem now. That's what you want to do as a president. Can I just do enough that people say he did do a shift? We got to pay him. You know. Look, there's a picture of our building right there. No fucking
weird.
We were sitting right there just a second ago, and then it shows up on TV. That's why we're having.
Every time that happens, I'm like, is everything okay? What's going on out there?
Yeah, well, we're just next to Fox. That's all. When they want to show everybody, there's our building. They show ours too. So Trump is going to Arizona. You know, who knows what's going to happen there, because it's going to be, some of it is going to be the pro whatever, pro stop the immigration, the anti. It's fucking nightmarish. But that's where we are in this country. No matter what the situation is, it seems to be FUBU. Well, Charlottesville's still fucking blowing up their city council meetings and all that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then Trump was very old school civil rights last night, where, you know, we all have to look out for each other and we can't have prejudice. when stuff's written down, he does sound like a president. I don't know what's going to happen tonight when he drops the fucking prepared speech.
That's when he's at his best. That's when you're getting real Trump.
You are getting real Trump, but then he might disagree with himself a half hour later.
Right.
You know what I mean? And what are these flags that he was in front of? Like, what yeah.
It was like almost like tattered. Like
it looks like the Cree Nation has decided to put something together. I think tomorrow we're saying goodbye to our interns. This was like our fastest intern group.
Yeah, I can't believe
ever had.
The summer's already over. Yeah,
summer. It just seems like, I remember every day, and you guys are like, I can't wait till summer. Every day we would be out front. Summer's going to be here, man. Well, finally. And like, oh, it's gone.
Just, it's so depressing. Every year, like the end of summer is the saddest shit. Like when it starts to cool off, and like, even though like fall can be nice in the city, but you're just like, oh, that thing that we were just talking about wanting is just done. It's just over.
It's gone for another 9 months. It sucks.
It's so depressing. Hey, but who knows? Like, the weather has been so weird. Like, this last winter was weird. This summer was weird. None of it was like typical New York winter or typical.
I know,
New York
but
summer.
even when you get an Indian summer, it's not summer. You know what I mean? You're just like,
Just hot.
this isn't real. Yeah, you're not going around doing all your summer shit.
Right.
They've closed down the summer shit, and the fucking ice skating rink is up. You know, you're like, it's too hot to ice skate. I can't wait till it gets a little cooler. You know, yesterday, during the great solar eclipse of 2017, and do you see that great pictures from Paul?
Yes,
that sent that?
it's so great.
I thought the Milky Way picture was even more beautiful.
Really stunning. I mean,
I hate that I'm not a
gorgeous.
great fucking nature photographer. That would be my fucking like a little fantasy thing, but I'm not going to learn all that shit. To
I
take
know.
A good picture.
I like, isn't that the most depressing thing? Is like you're staring out and it's like a full moon. And you're like, this picture is gonna be great. And then you're just like, what? That's not what it looks like. This looks like garbage.
I know. Why does it look so far away? I mean, there could be a full moon that was 18 feet off the earth. I'll take a picture of it. And you can barely see a white dot. But Jimmy had brought this up. Ari had brought this up to me and a lot of other people. You know what they loved most? Sharing glasses. People who had glasses were like, here, to strangers. Go ahead, take a look. And they all brought up how that community thing was so fantastic. And I would say this to people. The sun and moon are always there. I mean, it's always pretty, just because you're used to it doesn't mean that we maybe shouldn't be some kind of, sun worshippers, moon worshippers.
Yesterday, I had to pick up a dress that I got altered because I have like a wedding coming up.
Yeah.
And the woman who's my tailor is just like, hold on, I need to show you something. You need to look at this. This is the eclipse. She shows me this picture and she's like, what is this? And around the eclipse in one of the pictures, it was like this purple eye shape. It was so strange around just around the eclipse. Something bent the light and who knows why, but it was like glowing purple eye around the eclipse. And she's just like, explain this to me. I cannot explain this. I sent this to my face. Yeah, she was like convinced it was like a dark omen. She was like, I sent to my sister in Russia. Like, what is this?
I believe all the gypsies right now. I believe all the travelers.
It's like, I cannot tell you what that is. I don't know what it is.
This is why they used to, sacrifice animals. Like, oh, if you want blood, we got blood for you. Don't worry. Take this fucking blood. Look, if you want a virgin girl, this is a 15-year-old girl. Gorgeous. We'll bring her out here and cut her throat. Can you believe, like,
rip her heart out?
We used to get to those points, like, I don't know, what if we just grab, like, a really pretty young chick, put her on a rock, we tie her to it, we fucking do some mumbo-jumbo,
Chant.
fucking kill her, and then probably they'll leave us alone.
Love good crops.
I'd be like, look, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Fuck this evil-eyed bitch. But people were loving the community feeling of everybody stopping, everyone, like, I don't have any glasses. Here, use my glasses. The people that had glasses were very proud of themselves. Very proud of themselves.
I thought it had in my glasses. Please share the wealth.
Yeah.
The thing that I thought was really cool is like people that were sharing the really strange shadow that the eclipse casts. A lot of people were sharing that picture because there were those little crescent, semicircles all over the ground. I didn't even know that would occur that way.
I got a long letter from Julian who called us yesterday, and she said she'd been up for 30 straight hours, so she was pretty sure she wouldn't be awake during the show today. But she was incredibly moved by the entire experience, like spiritually shook and loving, and was writing stuff about the balance between sun, moon, and earth, and all that. And it's funny. Some people are like, it's just the fucking moon in front of something, and other people are like, oh. Hey, Tony, what's up?
Yeah, hey, I had to drive to a remote location yesterday to see it, and I swear to God, it was raining blood. Just kidding. Heard what you said yesterday about the blood blizzard.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, so speaking of being moved by an eclipse, on Christopher Columbus' fourth journey to the Americas, he and his buddies stowed away in one of those Caribbean islands, and they're they're putting them up. They're giving them food and stuff. And then they're like, hey, now it's time you guys move along. So Columbus said, well, tell you what, if you don't feed me, I'm going to make the moon go away. He knew that there was a lunar eclipse coming up, and he didn't, of course. So anyway, that night, all the natives freaked out, and they worshiped them like a god, and started feeding them again.
I have always heard this from different explorers that they said we're going to let monkeys eat the moon or whatever. I kind of have a feeling that's more mythology than anything else, because your chances of you being in this situation just as an eclipse is coming along, I mean, you know how rare it is. But it is a good story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the important thing.
You're trying to say this is almost like a pig's blood bullet scenario.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if he did that shit.
Like they said, something doesn't have to be truth to be true. You know what I mean? Like the underlining bit to the fucking story works. Hey, we're smarter than them. But I don't know. The odds of playing. I mean, it is. I mean, I can't tell you how many times in movies I'm watching a poker game and I see a fucking royal flush and I've never seen one in real life. But they come up pretty frequently where some cowboys just fucking ace king. It's all right there. Jesus Christ.
In order?
Yeah, in order. Literally in order, because it's not cinematic to sit there and start moving cards around. So I don't know. I don't know whether it's just a good story. Enjoy your fucking good story, folks. They don't all have to be true. All right, Die Hard didn't happen, but you know,
doesn't
fucking
make it
kind
less
of cool.
good.
You know, well, yippee ki motherfucker. Oh, I got an idea. I'll tape this gun to my back. And then somehow,
ouch.
I mean, most people can't scratch that spot on their back that they want to, but this guy was able to pull a gun out from fucking duct tape.
I wish you couldn't, like, he couldn't unstick it.
How would you be able to? I don't know whether you ever dealt with duct tape before. I'm pouring fucking hot water on stuff. Like, I don't know. This duct tape might be there forever.
Or just really screamed in pain after he did it.
He had a fucking hairy back, and you just see this one area that's just all fucking ripped clean. He's got a movie coming out that people are mad about when Bruce Willis goes and shoots up South Chicago as a white guy. I mean, why couldn't you make Death Wish with a black dude? You're fucking constantly remaking things as black movies or woman movies. Why put Bruce Willis, the whitest guy, you know, into that thing where I'm going to shoot everybody in the south side of Chicago?
Good.
And I get it when people are like, where did this come from? It's fucking Death Wish. And most movies have been Death Wish forever. Like, somebody hurt my fucking wife. I'm going to shoot everybody now.
I mean, Taken is Death Wish.
All of them are Death Wish. Unforgiven is Death Wish. It just goes on.
Yeah.
And there were Death Wish movies long before Death Wish.
Ransom, Death Wish.
Yeah. You name it, and it's fucking Death Wish. John Wick is Death Wish. Mm-hmm. But because the name Death Wish, it just fucking carries so much, you know? And, anyway, this fucking country. Boo-boo. Boo-boo. What else we got to talk about today? I know we got a lot on our plates. Chris, what's your big story of the day?
All right, so this news just came out from the company that owns Tinder and a bunch of other dating websites. They put together some data and found that having a better credit score is the most attractive quality a person can have when they're looking for a new mate.
Well, certainly for young people of a dating and I want to get married age, a fucking credit score is very fucking nice to have.
I've never asked. No one's ever asked me for my credit score.
But you don't get credit. You don't buy anything on fucking time.
Zero.
That's, by the way, that's why a woman would be crazy. She'd have to be an immigrant to date you.
Not an immigrant.
What? She isn't? I thought she was from Costa Rica.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yes. She just grew up in America. She was born there, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That makes you a fucking immigrant.
Counts.
Way to know your chick. But I am not surprised by this. This is the same thing as saying I want a guy with money. What they're saying is if you're a young woman in the nesting years,
yes,
you don't want a guy who is a baller who throws money around. There is nothing worse than a guy who makes $2,000 a week and spends $2,500 a week.
That's the worst dude going. I've had to explain this before to many men who have issue with women who the way they are superficial is by choosing men who have money, have a good job, or in this case, have a good credit score. I don't see any difference between that and being like, I like her because she has great tits. It's just a different type. Like,
right.
At least this leads to something. At least there's like, they're like, okay, so maybe that means he'll be responsible in the future. He'll care for my family.
First of all, it does mean that you're responsible. So if they would have put the number one thing that a woman likes in a man is responsible, that would seem the exact opposite of superficial.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a responsible guy. He doesn't go around blowing his money. He doesn't fucking say he'll pay for something and won't.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When you really think about it.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
That way.
So the credit score, it's not only means like, oh, he pays off his credit. It also means he doesn't go around buying jet skis that he's only going to use twice.
That guy seems fun, though.
Fun is good for early dating. It isn't fucking good to marry. You know? That's the fucking problem that guys see. Fun. Most of that fun is fun to other guys. Look, I heard Artie and Anthony both talk about vacations that got blown up by their chicks that they both had spent separately $40,000 on.
Whoa.
Now, a $40,000 vacation, even if you got the money, is irresponsible. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking 40 G's.
Yeah.
If you got 100 million, you got to be going like this. 40 G's for a fucking vacation? What am I getting?
We're only there a couple days.
Yeah, we're there for 3 days.
But it's a giant suite.
$12,000. I know, but aren't we going to be out at the beach most of the time? I don't know whether you've ever been in a giant suite.
No.
You use the bedroom. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, this couch is so nice. But then you're like, I don't want to lay down and watch TV.
And then you're also going like, well, I'm not expecting guests. Who am I going to show off all this space to?
But what this article wants you to do, or this thing, is they want you to get mad. All right, what comes behind responsible, i.e. good credit score?
Attractiveness, ambition.
Okay, now, by the way, why aren't those two things superficial? Attractiveness is incredibly superficial.
Right.
That's like, you've done nothing to fucking achieve that. Oh my God, he's got gorgeous blue eyes. He didn't earn that. He didn't earn those blue eyes.
That credit score, he's working on it.
Thick head of hair on him. Huh? What is he, 6'3"? He didn't fucking earn those inches.
Ambition.
I don't know. Who's ambitious? Give me a person we know who's ambitious.
I can't think of anyone who's
Zito was ambitious. We thought he was a prick. You know what I mean? Like, ambitious. By the way, you're not hanging around with those guys at all. I saw your buddy today.
Yeah, rarely. I'm just hanging out with my chick in Brooklyn.
Oh, you're in that phase.
No, here's the thing. He used those guys because his old friends dumped
company.
him. His old friends dumped him. Then they were like, they finally get a cool guy to hang out with. And then as soon as he finds a little fucking better, look, he's going.
Peace out. Peace out.
And you're worried about people being superficial.
It's credit score is more important than courage. Courage is one of the things that was listed.
Courage. Like, first of all, if someone's on their fucking Tinder bragging about how courageous they are, like, that's just bizarre.
I mean,
like, how does it even come up?
Let's look around. Do we know if Vito or Chris or me is courageous? No, because we've never once been tested.
I don't understand how it comes up on Tinder. Is it just like you defending a family against a bear? Like,
what about this? How about this for courage? I walked on stage last night with nothing at Artie's show in front of fucking 180 people going like this. Girl power. Girl power. Let's break it down, shall we?
Girl. We all know what those are, right?
You know what a girl is? Yeah. Pal. All right. There's your friend, your girlfriend. Her. Girlfriend, her. So let's think that over if we can. How much more time do I have to do?
15 more minutes.
I don't want to TJ Miller this and go into some tried and true material about cats. I go like this. It isn't fucking cat power, is it? And I go over to Joe List. I go, movie stars went back to his routine. Joe's kind of like this. I'm going to do a story I've never told before.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm using this room like it's therapy. I've already made up my mind. I go, good, then I'm with you. All right. Courage. Again, what are you a fireman? Is that a better way of saying fireman?
Modesty.
Modesty.
It's more important than modesty.
Well,
All right.
But again, these things that come up, how are they shown? Like, how can they tell that that's what they're valuing? What about modesty in their Tinder?
You know
what about courage?
I think modesty means this. He takes out his dick. What? This big thing? Is it big?
Ooh, he's so modest.
Yeah. I don't know whether it's big or would you just say girthy? Modest is what? He doesn't have a nice car, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
and
willing
this
to
is
drive
only
an
women?
SUV.
This is women to men?
Yeah, this is women find men.
It's not going to be boys to men. That fucking scene is over.
And then finally, sense of humor.
Wow, sense of humor. Now, sense of humor is another interesting thing. Because are they saying this person is funny or they enjoy funny?
I think that normally what it has to mean, because there's not enough funny people on earth for all the people to be going, sense of humor is most important to me. I think what they're saying is we find the same things funny.
I would
so
agree
you
with that.
could like the same movies, like the same comedy, laugh at the same uncomfortable moment at a party. You share a sense of humor, not
Right.
just like, I mean, I want a guy with a type 5 when I meet him.
Honey, Modern Family's on.
Exactly.
The little fat kid's adorable. Let me tell you, I
agree.
spent all day yesterday with funny people. They're exhausting. I don't know how anybody could date or be around them. Again, I know you like list porn. That's your thing because you get to read it off like you came up with it. But the second you are questioned on it,
Yes.
you've proven that you haven't given any thought to that list. And you buckled under, like you were like, aren't we all ready to be outrageous over this outraged? The fact that they say credit score. And as soon as we say it means responsible. Bino, do you know what your credit score is? I know you got that sweet new Amex. Did your mom co-sign?
No, it's all me. I think my mom's credit is way worse than mine, so like she can't even, her name's not allowed to be near my credit card.
Yeah.
I've only made my second payment on it right now, so I don't know where I stand on credit score yet.
Well, you got an Amex, so you got to pay it off every month.
Yeah, I do. I'm too nervous to like do the minimum payment, so I've just been throwing all the money
I
back.
thought the whole thing of American Express is that you pay it. Like it's almost like a business card.
Yeah, it's like, I only have to make a $35 minimum payment a month, but I just don't trust myself having the extra money in my account.
There's different kinds of Amex cards.
Thank you.
There's like the classic like green Amex, and that you got to pay off at the end of the month.
Yeah, that's what I thought you had.
I just have a blue one.
All right, so you basically have just like a little fucking credit card
Yeah,
for
some
yourself.
basic bitch credit
Look,
card.
here's the thing about credit. Almost all young men ruin their credit at first. And then by the time you get out of it, you get into your late 20s, early 30s, you're like, well, I'm not going to let that happen again. Because the first credit card I got, I used to call my margarita card. It was like, this is a card for free margaritas. And then you run through whatever your tiny little like 2,500, and then
lucky.
after you pay off the card stops. And they're like, this motherfucker. But then after you pay off the 5 Gs for that 2,500, you're like, how do most people do that? How do you work this out? Okay, don't use it. Because even now, almost 100% of the time, I'd rather use cash so I know how much fucking cash I got.
Right.
Because anytime it's like, I'll worry about that later. No, you're just pissed. You're
Yeah.
like, why did I have a fun day?
Even if like in the circumstance of cars, I have a problem. Like if I'm getting in a car and I'm paying with cash, then I think about it like, man, I can't believe I spent $30 on that cab ride. But if I call a car service and use an app, that's a free cab ride. It's really bad because you're just like, no money ever was exchanged, and so I'm not going to think about what that was.
I see Sherrod last night, and he's sitting in the back of the car, and he rolls down the window, and he's talking to me, and we're just talking, like fucking 10 minutes go by, right? So I'm thinking he's either got a car for the night, or his fucking Uber driver didn't know how to get to this place in fucking Brooklyn. And Charles goes, it's this N-word's first night, even though the person wasn't black, you know? And finally, he had to get out and just get another Uber. A guy, even with his fucking phone, couldn't find this club in Brooklyn that Sherrod was going to. Or he was like, oh, shit, I'm just going to act here. I see where it is. I'm going to act like he can't be found.
Sometimes Uber drivers ask you if you know the fastest route, and it's really frustrating because you're just like, you should know this or use Waze. There's two options you have.
There's no difference between you and the Uber driver. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is not an expert who's dedicated himself to transportation.
It used to be that, but no longer.
In Uber?
No, in like a cab was like that.
Yeah. But for some reason, we look down on the service industry like, oh, babe, this fucking guy. But if you have a good waiter, your experience is 100% better than if you have a terrible waiter. And the same as for a driver. We want people to excel at their work. Maybe the way to do that is stop putting down people that are in the service industry. You know what I mean? Like, why don't you go get back and get me a paint can, asshole? Because guess what? There's some fucking skill to figure it out. Is that paint the exact paint that you want? Nothing worse than going on and like that's not the color green that your chick had in her mind, and she's not going to put it on the wall. Yeah, because one shade is disgusting to her and the other is perfect. It is disgusting to her and the other is perfect. I don't know. Is it seafoam? It looks like a lot of seafoam to me. I can't tell the difference between seafoam and grass. So don't send me then. There was a thing yesterday that said people, you get to your mid-30s before you find out that you hate your job. Now, this is something that has changed dramatically in, let's say, the last 50, 60 years, I guess. And at 50 or 60 years ago, people, and going back to the beginning of time before that, right? So anytime up until, let's say, the early 60s, and even that's cutting a little bit, people didn't know they were supposed to enjoy their work. They thought their work was to get shelter and food, and they thought it was a relief to have a job that would provide those things, and then they could come home and lay down and not be in the rain and not be hungry in the rain. And then at some point, we start to act like, find out what you love and then chase it every day. You know what I mean?
What created that like restless spirit thing that it was like, is it the American dream? Is it just like
it's also
industry moved forward? Like what was it that created that thing where it's just like, yeah, don't be stuck in your small town. Don't be stuck in a job you don't want. Like,
I think a lot of it had to do with college, self-help seminars, you know, because they figured out most people were like, oh no, I don't like my job. I just do it, you know? And then every once in a while, you'd have that happy guy like, I love being in the fucking clamming business. I'm out there getting clams. Guys next to him, really? It seems cold and shitty to me. But it's like this fucking myth that you are going to love your job. I saw a thing the other day. Millennials are not going into the trucking industry because they don't think they're going to like it. You know?
I like that. That's just
when I was younger, the number one job in my neighborhood is everybody was like factory, factory, factory. No one I've ever met thought I love being in the factory business, but people would do it because you could make $14 an hour instead of $4 an hour. Right. So they're like, I got a job in a factory. It's fucking great at the end of the week when I get the money. But nobody was ever saying, I find this rewarding. I will say this. Forklifts are really fun. People never bring that up. It's never said enough, but it's pretty exciting to be there on a forklift. This fucking thing could tip over. But we did not think we were supposed to love our jobs. Now, I can also tell you, loving your work can be very frustrating because you know how good you want to do it.
Yes.
And you do it a little less good than that.
Yeah, it's that thing that if you have a creative job, or even if you have like a job that you are ambitious at, that you want to be great at, there is that thing that if you if you love that art form, if you love that type of industry, you have a taste for it. So your taste level oftentimes is better than your own personal capability, thus creating just like pure sadness all the time. Because you're like, I'm here, I'm doing the thing I love to do, and I'm not operating at the level I want to do it.
Like when I talk to like some open mic comics, they have seen everything Dave Attell and Louis C.K. have done. Everything.
Right.
But it takes you 15 years, if you're incredibly as talented as them, to get to that level. Now, while you're working towards that, it's unbelievably frustrating. By the way, it's also frustrating for Dave Attell and Louis C.K.
Yeah.
They're not doing the set that is in their fucking mind. You know what I mean?
And the audience is never probably reacting the exact way that they wished they did. Like, I'm sure that they have a laugh or a pop in their mind, and they're like, that was okay.
You would also like it to stick more. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell you would like it to be something that they were talking about later, not just that moment of the laughter. So it's always fucking, no matter what you do, it's frustrating. I can't imagine being, a filmmaker and knowing that your film was, I gave it an hour and a half. It's not bad. Because you don't fucking want to spend
my
3 hours of your fucking life and fucking crying over money and begging people to let you have an extra day for something like that. Like, it's good for what it is. There's no doubt. I give it a B. Fuck.
And you're like, I don't really like romance movies.
Frustration is part of the human existence, and discomfort is part of the human existence. That's why we fucking invented boats. We wanted to get out of there. And, from a corporate point of view, and I actually was talking about this last night, and I haven't thought this out completely, but this is where my head is right now. What anybody wants from you in a job is they want you to do something and accept less money than that's worth. Yeah. If you do that, they will call you a good employee, right? So if you do $12 an hour worth of work and you accept 8, they're like, that person is a good employee.
That's interesting. I mean?
That's it.
It doesn't really it's not even based on their accomplishments, their growth.
Nothing. Now, we're also willing to pay somebody $15 million a year if they're worth 20. And the second that they're not worth that, we're like, they're a bad person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just think of any quarterback. You don't give a fuck what that guy gets paid until he loses.
Yeah.
And then you're like, he takes all this money and he fucking loses and he throws the ball to the wrong place. You wouldn't give a shit. Yeah. No, just think of it. You don't care if that guy's getting paid $1 million a game or fucking $600 a game. You don't care anything about that. You just want him to accomplish what he said he was going to accomplish. Now, in football, 31 teams don't accomplish it, and you hate those 31 teams, and you like one team for like a week. You're like, they're good. They did it. But they just, all they want from you is to do something that has more value than what they're paying you. Not even the same value. No one wants that fucking person. They want your value to be more to them than it is to you.
Right.
That's it. That's the whole fucking thing of working. Do more than I'm paying you.
Yeah. I know someone who was just in the circumstance where people were getting laid off from her company, and then they came to her with an offer, and the offer was that they have less money to be giving out to employees.
Yeah.
So like, we can cut your hours dramatically, and you can you can work this many days a week and you will get a lot less money. Or you can make the same exact amount of money, but you have to do all of this. And like, what a crazy position to be put in a circumstance where she felt like she had to keep her job.
Sure.
And she's like, oh yeah, I guess I'll just do a lot more and still keep my job. So in the moment, she's like, good, I'm not one of these people who's losing her job. And then like a couple weeks in, she's freaking out. She's like, I'm so stressed. I'm so overwhelmed. And I'm making the same exact amount of money. And it's crazy to think that this is somebody who like was employed by them for many years and then have to be like, oh, like you don't value what I do. You were willing to put me in a position where I'm like shaking and constantly afraid. If I don't do this stuff, I'll go.
They don't mind. They do not mind that. And you ever hear like, it's business, it's not personal. That never was a gangster thing. That was always a corporate thing. That was always like fucking Francis Ford Coppola said that if you look at The Godfather, it's about American industry. It's a corporation and the way that you move ahead and move down. But yes, they don't. No, the thing is that you look at your boss. No matter who your boss is, there's somebody who's just fucking chewing his ass out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just fucking laying into that guy. You motherfucker. I don't know whether you think you're going to be here next week, but it ain't going to be like it is now. I mean, there's no breaks out there. And then even if you own the business, you're like at night going like this. I hope I make that note or they come and take everything. I mean, they're going to come and take my pool. They're going to fucking dig my pool out. And they're going to fucking drag my kids out of that private school. You know what I mean? Like, there's no fucking, like when you're like, oh man, he's living the life. You don't know if that fucking guy is sitting at night going like this. I can probably just shoot myself inside my mouth. And it goes back to what we were saying, the credit score. The only way to fucking relax is that if you owe 7, if you have 10. Yeah. But if you have $1 million and you owe $1.2 million, your life is fucking terrible. The $1 million doesn't mean shit.
You might as well be broke.
You're less than broke.
Yeah.
You're fucking less than broke. Trump was a great example of that. For many years, he owed billions of dollars. Billions. And he was able to sleep at night like that.
I don't know how. I don't know how people
being
do
a sociopath, being like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. I probably ain't going to pay him anything. And then, like, one of his things, they used to call him the king of debt, is that he would know how to say, you're not going to get anything if you fucking give me this shit. Now, I need my plane. He didn't care that he had no money as long as he had his plane and his fucking, you know, he goes, I need those things. I need them to fucking get around. I can't get in a regular fucking plane. It's just the way, and you could, there's no system, by the way, that's fucking fair. You know what I mean? Like, the communist system at its core seems fucking great. You know what I mean? Like, if you just heard it, like, hey, everybody looks out for each other, and it's like being in a family, and you're like, yeah, it's fucking pretty cool. And everybody's going to eat, and everybody's going to have a house, and everybody's, you know, going to have health care. And then you look around and you're like, how come those motherfuckers aren't doing anything? You know what I mean? Like, what fucks up that system is not the system, it's people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the same thing that happens, what happens with our system is somebody who doesn't feel like they're doing well because of the system, they're just greedy. They're like, this is all mine, huh? Even though I have fucking $1 billion, I'm going to try to get out of paying taxes to keep the system going. You're like, you got nothing but money. It should be the least of your problem. Here's Brian. Brian, what's up?
Yeah, just all this talking about the quality of employees and all that stuff. And you think of like Colin Kaepernick, you know, how he's kind of getting a lot of press now because everybody thinks he deserves a job and all that. What do you think of all these guys that are like, you know, sitting down for the anthem and all that in regards to what their employer thinks of them?
Well, first of all, their employer doesn't set up a rule that they can't do that. So the employer doesn't have as much problem with this as you think. A lot of that is to get people like yourself upset watching the games. You know what I mean? But the NFL could easily say, here's what you have to do to be in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, they have rules for a lot of things.
They have rules for if your fucking shirt is out.
Yeah.
If your shirt is out during a game, you can fucking get fined $10,000.
Cleats, guys have been, for different color cleats, guys have gotten $50,000 fines.
So he hung up because all of a sudden because you wanted me to say Kaepernick is not a good employee.
Boo, Kaepernick.
It's an entertainment fucking game, right? And the games are, pretty corrupt. I think what's fucking funny there is that we have all these billionaires that own fucking teams, but then they split money.
Yeah.
These guys who believe in competition are like, and we're not really competition. We're partners in the same business.
When it comes to my team.
When it comes to all of our teams. The guy in Jacksonville gets the same thing as the guy in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The guy in fucking New England who's winning all the time gets paid the same fucking money as the guy in Cleveland whose team never wins. It's all fucking rip-off.
But to also go back to the Kaepernick thing, them choosing not to make that a rule and then therefore more people get involved and interested, whatever, they have the ability to do that. I would say, it's also, you should be aware that when they're having troops come out and doing the jets and doing the flag, like that also is created for the viewer as well.
Not only that,
like that's not it's almost like, hey, football has always been an American thing where we honor the troops. That's because they created that, and I'm not even saying it's bad or good. It's just that's what their viewers
I don't even know if you're aware of this, but a lot of times the Army's paying for that as a commercial. So they came up with the fact that the Washington Redskins were taking money to put out these troop things, and
so that's even more so.
Yes.
That's even.
Yeah. But patriotism itself has always been used to also make money. I'm not saying there isn't the pure feeling of patriotism, but a lot of movies were made like, let's get them on the patriotism thing. You know what I mean? And that's why there's you see this gal? I'm going back to him. Matter of fact, tomorrow's my last bing. Guy's fucking shot in the neck. You're like, you're sitting in, we got to do fucking something about this. Mike, Syracuse, Mike.
Bennington.
Yeah, buddy.
I watched the phone last night.
Dude, hold on. Your phone is bad, and I definitely want to hear about this. So let's just see if we can do it. Go ahead.
Is this better?
No, it sounds terrible. Should we give him a call back? Because he wants to talk about the movie The Founder, and I've never heard anybody else bring this topic up. But it's a fascinating movie. It's about the guy, Ray Kroc, and the founding of McDonald's. Do you guys even know the story?
No, I know the documentary is out, but I haven't seen it.
This is a film.
Oh yeah.
This is a film starring the original Batman. The original movie Batman, not Adam West. So here's the deal. There were these brothers, the McDonald's brothers, who started the McDonald's restaurant in some podunk California town. Ray Kroc comes to them and said, "This is great. Let's take this, across the country." And if you know, I'm not giving the story away of the McDonald's brothers lose control. Ray Kroc, starts to tell people he's the founder, even though he's never founded it, and he's the person who becomes incredibly financially successful. And by the way, he did this fairly late in life, after his, after he was in his 50s. Up to that point, he just had failure after failure after failure, and this one stuck. And by the way, if you ever read any business book, is one of the main fucking things. We can't get that fixed, Vito. It's his phone.
It's his phone. He's going to call in 2 minutes. He said he thinks a spot's coming up.
Oh, a good spot to be in.
Yeah.
This is the problem with these fucking phones. You think like, hey, it's great. You always have a phone. And tell everybody else I'm not in a hurry to talk to them. Just this guy. But it's up to you who you think is the hero and who you think is the heel. You know what I mean? Like I give them credit for not acting like we'll make this just black and white. All right, Mike, is that you?
Yeah, I'm back, Bennington. How are you?
Okay, so I was just explaining a little bit the premise of The Founder. What did you think of the film?
it was a little bit disturbing. He was a pretty ruthless guy, And going into the film, I'm not sure if you're familiar with a song by Mark Knopfler called "Boom Like That."
Yeah.
A great tune, and so I was kind of intrigued by the story, but he kind of left me as a kind of dog eat dog businessman, and what he did to the McDonald's brothers is kind of you feel bad for them in a way.
I did not feel bad for them at all, and I will tell you why. Number one, they fucking sold this thing to him. The wolf was at the door, and they made the deal with the wolf. Two, their original thing was not what I would consider a great burger place to begin with. This, hey, we're going to make 10 burgers at the same time. We're going to put things on them at the same time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there were better burger places in the world. They wanted to be the Henry Ford burgers. That was their point. And, by the way, they did not even have the skills to do this. You have to be a ruthless person to get a franchise off the board. All right, it always comes back to Wozniak or Steve Jobs. Wozniak was absolutely the genius of building this personal computer. But nobody would have known it without Steve Jobs. There would have been no Apple if it was just Wozniak. And Wozniak always gets pointed as the real genius. Jobs is a marketer. And then other people just love Jobs because they love apples. But maybe none of this would have happened. There wouldn't have been a McDonald's across the country without Ray Kroc. The McDonald brothers never would have fucking done it.
Right.
If that's what your thing was. And the interesting thing was, he also didn't make money off burgers. They became big landowners by owning those things in every place, right? Not renting. They were able to get more capital and blah, blah, blah. And that kind of shit has nothing to do with burgers at all.
And that's what he brought to the table. Like, he brought that business aspect.
He brought a ruthlessness, and a vision of, I am not stopping. And being rich doesn't mean that I'm not going to work fucking 20 hours the next day. And it doesn't mean that I won't fuck people over if I have to. You know?
Gail, if you haven't heard "Boom Like That" by Mark Knopfler, it's a great tune. And it just kind of chronicles the whole selling milkshake mixers and San Bernardino and all the whole journey.
All right, we're gonna play it right now. Thanks, dude. Well, that was literally the script to the entire film.
Perfect. I think I get it now.
And it didn't become a hit because sometimes people don't like songs about burger wars. And
yet I found myself like,
Cock style. Boom like that. But the thing is, like, we have this weird thing in this country where somebody like President Trump is what it takes to become the American dream, get your thing, and then we're also like, oh, what a terrible, terrible way to be. You're just marketing. You don't care about lawsuits. I mean, if you want to be big in this country, you're dealing with lawyers all the time.
Right.
Big part of your money is just going to lawyers back and forth. And the weird thing is, like, say, even in terms of comedy, you got to have some kind of ruthless fucking manager.
Yeah.
I mean, your manager is not a nice, pleasant person most of the time. You know what I mean? Or your agent or the lawyer.
You wouldn't
for that.
want them to be.
No, you're like, what is wrong with you? You're so fucking nice. Everyone likes you. And I'm not getting any of the good stuff. Now, this other guy's terrible. And he gets me stuff, so I'm going to sign with him. You're like a brother to me. I'm getting rid of you. And I'm going over there to that terrible person. But that's the way the system is set up. It's set up where it's a blood sport all the time. But it is what it is. Like, this system of checks and balances is set up for the fact that we're just constantly battling and most of the time not moving this thing at all. Again, if you watched Trump last night, I don't think he was pleased to say those things that he said.
Yeah.
And certainly the people who were the America First people are disappointed with him today. They're like, that's not why we got behind you, for you to say we're more troops. I'm not going to say how many. I'm not going to say what winning is, but we will win. We'll know it.
How will we know?
In our guts, probably. And in our patriotic American guts. People forget this is the greatest country in the world. That's what those statues represent. Seriously, I can't get caught up in the statue stuff. I really have zero fucking interest in whether we keep all the statues or none of them.
Think they'll melt down these old statues and make them into new statues?
That's the kind of dumb thing that I find them talking about on the news.
Are they really talking
I'm not gonna lie. I heard somebody say that one of the places wanted to replace one of them with a Missy Elliott statue, and I was like, I have no problem with that. She makes me proud to be an American.
I've got some people from Philly, and we're going to go tear down the Rocky statue and then put up Joe Frazier, who actually is from Philly and not New Jersey, and actually won a championship. He doesn't have a statue in Philly. He had an old fucking gym. Yeah. I don't even think it had heat. You used to see it when you were taking the train back and forth. I don't even know if it's still there. I don't care. I don't care about your dumb fucking statues. I've never picked a park because of the statue. I mean, I think the only statues I went out of my way to look at, I got to think about this: Lincoln Memorial, Statue of Liberty. I guess would that the thing in North Dakota, Rushmore, is that a statue?
I would put that in the.
Okay, then that one.
Yeah,
I drove out of my way to say, couldn't believe how small it was. That was going to be way bigger.
Well, yeah, when you're comparing it to that half-done Crazy Horse, you're like, those presidents look like garbage. That thing's going to be huge.
By the way, half-done Crazy Horse. I'm not even buying into that bit. What do they got, an arm done in 40 years? I mean, the whole thing
what
there
does it
is
look like now? Because it was not very far along when we saw it.
We saw it a long time ago, and you couldn't even tell. I think it's much further along than when we saw it. Just put up half-done Crazy Horse.
They'll know what you mean.
Yeah.
Google knows.
All right.
It's like a face.
It's way further along than when we saw it, and it still doesn't look like
it's
shit.
Still probably not half done.
Although you can see that, you can see where it's going. No, still we're close to half done. But at least now you can see where it's going.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That's when my premise used to be on vacation to get my picture, like looking at stuff, but I would pull my pants down and just stare in my underwear.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, is that what that is?
Always interested. Yeah, like put his hand under his chin, like, interesting.
I think I'm out. I think I've grown out of that phase.
What I remember most about it was the first place I ever had Dippin' Dots. And I was like, this is the future.
And we found out that you were wrong.
According to Sean Spicer.
No, according to the world today. Dippin' Dots. All right, you had Dippin' Dots before we had cell phones. Now everybody has a cell phone, and you never hear anybody say, "Hey, let's go get some Dippin' Dots."
I wish they
and yet
did.
they still say it's the thing of the future. It's not the best ice cream.
Yeah, it's not. It lacks a little bit in flavor. It's not the best flavor ice cream.
What is it that you like? The
texture.
Dot? Yes. Why can't you dot up?
Melting dot.
Excuse me?
The creamy melting dot.
Yeah. Why can't you make up those out of good ice cream? It doesn't seem like it would be that hard. It's not good tasting ice cream. The dip of a dot. Dippin' Dots. All right, why don't we break here? We're right back. Bennington Show. Hey, is that fight Saturday?
That is Saturday night, yes.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
I don't know whether it is or not. I don't know. I think they tried this 8-ounce thing at the last minute to get people interested, and apparently it's worked to get more money flowing around. But I think people are going to end up fairly disappointed. And even if it's a great fight, you won't remember it 15 minutes later because there's 900 other things to do in the sporting world. There's just so much sports now that even no matter what you do, you're never going to be like a god of sports again. It's just gone, you know?
Well, we have all this other stuff to distract us with. And I love how you said like that about your team, like your team wins and then it's just over. Like how depressing is the Super Bowl like the day afterwards? Like all this work and lead up to it and you're like, what else? What else is going on?
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. There isn't this permanent thing. I mean, if you even look at Tom Brady, who's probably the most talked about athlete today, if Tom Brady retired tomorrow, So what? There's somebody else here.
Garoppolo will be on.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just okay. Keep going. Nothing has permanence. Nothing has permanence these days. And it did feel like at one point, like if you were, I don't know, like Joe Louis or Joe DiMaggio, the people would still be talking about you years and years later.
Right.
And your accomplishments. But there's just so many games that go on all the time right now.
Because after the fight, a week and a half later, NFL season starts. And then no one's going to give a fuck about McGregor or Mayweather.
No one's not going to give a fuck 12 hours after that fight. 12 hours after that fight. We were going to do something big for it. I guess we decided not to.
I let that fall through the cracks.
We'll put it with the Buffett. We had great stuff to give out. And I go, I don't know where Vito is. So I said to those guys, I go, okay, it's one thing to have a great prize, but you have to have something fun from the play. And neither one of you guys could come up with something fun? Why are you yelling at her, Vito?
I didn't say any words. I just slapped my head and was motioning headphones.
Like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. I just looked at a fucking real life Donkey Kong.
You really did Donkey Kong.
Now, by the way, I didn't ask either one of you to come up, to do something. It was your idea that you guys wanted to do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you buffeted it.
It fell apart in the planning stages.
What fell apart?
We couldn't figure out the best way to do it.
Man, that's got to be worse than anything.
Oh,
huh?
it's terrible.
Just not being able to figure out, not being smart enough
Fucking
to
awful.
figure out.
Yeah, it was just.
What do you guys like to do? When Ron figures it out, then you just do it?
No.
What he says? Yes,
No.
you do. You will do that. You will go, oh, Ron wants this done, by then I got to get it done. But you won't do it for yourself. And that's what, seriously, that Ray Kroc movie is all about. Founder.
How are you guys going to be founders?
They are fucking foundlings. But you like being the fuck up guy. That's your.
That wasn't true, guys.
I
That's
don't
your
like
fun
being a
place.
fuck up guy.
Did you get in touch with Artie for me?
I texted, yes.
I wanted to thank him for last night.
Was it so fun?
Kind of. I mean, he did give me the world's worst introduction ever.
Did he?
He goes, this next gentleman is a good friend of mine. Well, not good. Friend. We're friends, though. Ron Bennington.
That's horrible.
I know. It was
That's
making me laugh,
awful.
though. And I go, there's an acquaintance of mine. Passing acquaintance, Artie Shafir. It's hard to give a good introduction, though.
Did Ari talk to you about his vasectomy and how it went?
No, I told him before. It was just fine.
Yeah.
It was
not so bad?
nothing. Yeah, it was not so bad.
Good.
He went in, he got it done, it's done. Now he can't have a baby, and that's starting to bother him. He
More
really
mental.
wants one. He really wants a baby. Now. He wants a little Ari.
That is so sad.
Yeah, it is sad, but, it's all part of it. I'll put Chris and Vito on figuring it out.
Oh, Jesus.
The one thing that we have
Guys.
signed stuff is boxing stuff.
Yeah. A lot of boxing stuff.
Really
But
good prize.
what was your problem? What was the block?
I
for you
mean, there
guys?
was a conversation, was there not?
Yeah, we talked about it a couple times.
Vito, come in here. I want to, as I cancel Big Brothers, I want to figure out,
Why?
because of this. You know what I mean? Because you guys are too focused on Big Brothers to do your work.
We just found our stride, I thought.
It has nothing to do with it. I'm trying to say Big Brothers is the happy afterthought. Is it Big Brothers? Is that it, Vito? Is that why you can't pull this off?
No, it has nothing to do with Big Brothers. Big Brothers is
Look,
its own entity.
put it out of your mind. Big Brothers is done as
No,
of now.
please don't cancel Big Brothers.
Oh, it's canceled.
No, please. I get to talk about Big Brother.
Yeah.
I get mad at tweets. It's a good time on.
Yeah, but you're not getting your work done.
Yeah, this had nothing to do with Big Brothers, but this was bad teamwork from me and Chris.
Just like Big Brothers.
I can't argue that, but
Thank you. But it's fun to fuck up, right? It's
No,
fun
it's
to do.
not.
It's kind of fun.
No.
It's fun. I like it. I like it.
it's not fun to fuck up, and we fucked up, and we just didn't collaborate.
The only thing you let down is the listeners. By the way, the listeners are still, they tweet about Audible. The Audible deal isn't between us and Audible. It's fucking serious on Audible. Why doesn't anybody put out a press release about that?
I don't know. I respond to everybody who tweets at me and let them know what's happening, but it sounded like nobody was really on the same page with it. With
They
what
didn't make
happened.
like an
But
official
this isn't
announcement.
like, oh, the Bennington show wasn't doing anything with Audible. We never made a personal deal with Audible. I've never met anybody from there. I never thought it was a smart thing that if you have SiriusXM, you also put the show out on Audible. And it's the end of it. You know, it was a 10-year deal. Who makes a 10-year deal? Like
really
a marriage.
bold.
That would be long for a marriage. If someone said, would you be married to this woman for 10 years? You're like, 10 years? Oh, I don't know. I wasn't thinking that long of being married. Look who it is. Rich Voss. Rich.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you, my friend?
Good, out in Long Island. I just finished, did a little workout, and I was reading on Twitter that you were saying that certain people didn't show up for Anthony.
No one showed up, but me and Voss were me and Norton were the only two that came in.
Well, I told them that I can't make it, being that I'm working on this feature film in Long Island. Although, yesterday I didn't go into the movie. I had to watch my daughter all day, which is not I had to. I mean, I had to, but I wanted to also.
Right.
So they knew I wasn't coming. I sent them a video. You know what I mean? And
yeah. Well, yeah, I saw your video. It was very funny. But they thought that the video was a way of saying, I'm going to be here. I don't know how they run that operation over there. It seems to be, I would call it haphazard or slappy.
I would say they run it like a bad march in Charlottesville or something. I don't know. I mean, no, I'm only kidding.
They had all the chairs set up, and it was very embarrassing for me.
You got to take away the chairs.
Yes.
I mean, you can't have the empty chairs.
And not only that, it's like we didn't even sit close to each other, right? What? No, because we're like, oh, the other people are coming, you know?
Yeah.
We're all going to be here. And they're like, this is going to be great.
Well, I hope it's not the end of the world, but I hope he's not really upset. But at least the thing is that you and Norton came in, and you two powerhouses, you know, from morning and midday are pretty much enough to carry a broken show. You know what I mean? Like they have. So did they announce? I guess they announced his new co-host.
Yeah, Coast.
Which is also another reason that I'm not rushing to go in. And not that I want to, because I'm so busy, you know, not that I want to be a co-host, but not even being considered. I don't want people to take this wrong. Believe me, I think Artie's great. I mean, I think it's going to be great. Don't get me, it's going to be great. But you know what? Hey, why don't you come? It's like my wife saying, hey, can you come and watch me fuck this other guy?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess it does. I mean, I didn't know that you really wanted it. Did you tell them that you wanted it?
No, I don't want it. I can't go in those hours. I don't want that.
Right,
but
okay.
It's just like in comedy, real quick. I like to be, look, True TV, when they were doing Comedy Knockout, would not give me Comedy Knockout. So I call my manager, I'm yelling, why are they not offering me Comedy Knockout? Everybody in New York's doing Comedy Knockout. So then my manager calls me a week later, says, True, and says, I got you Comedy Knockout. And I yelled at him. I go, I don't want to do it. I just wanted to be offered it.
Right.
I just want the respect of being offered it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Who is your manager now?
Bonnie. No, Chris over at CH Entertainment manages me.
Now, does he know that? Does he know he's your manager?
Not really.
Because I feel like if I could manage Rich Voss, the rest of my life would be easy. You know what I mean? I feel like I'd be getting you just opportunity after opportunity. You would be on Comedy Knockout. You'd be co-hosting Anthony's show. You and Bonnie's book would be turned into a movie. I'd get the podcast would be at the top. I mean, it seems easy to manage Rich Voss
with that level of talent.
Yes,
it shouldn't be difficult.
Well, I thank you, and I will be in to sign the papers later today.
Good.
I mean, we're going to hopefully sell the roast that we did. And Bonnie just shot a short film that she's going to try to turn into a television series. I mean, look, right now I'm working on an Adam Sandler movie. Mm-hmm. You know, I keep busy behind the scenes, too, a lot. You know what I mean?
That is true.
So,
Yeah. But let me ask you, did your manager get you that Adam Sandler movie, or did you get it yourself?
I got it myself through Scott. You know, I work with Chris a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I've written on 2 Oscars, but that doesn't sell seats in clubs.
Right, I understand.
You know what I mean?
You're right. That should be something your manager's concerned about.
Yeah, I mean, I just had a big picture, an article in the New York Times. You think they could point whatever?
Sure.
Look,
things are going well.
I'm happy.
Right.
I'm happy with where my life is at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I will do anything for Anthony or Norton or you when it comes to when I can come in. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to stop down tonight for your thing. What you're doing?
It's already booked. But
okay. Good.
Yeah.
That takes that pressure off. Oof, thank God you said that.
Yeah.
Because I was just talking out of the side of my mouth. But you know what I mean.
Right.
I would do anything for those guys. You know, even another guy that won't get back to me. If he called and asked me to help him on something, I would still do it.
Right. You're good that way, though. You really are. You're a stand-up guy. You know?
Well,
I guess it's the thing that it just wasn't one drop off, but also Bobby had something to do. And then apparently Nick didn't even answer the phone. You know, I guess he looked at it and sidebarred it. You know?
God.
Yeah. And then Artie was very late. Artie was very late.
Artie? Are you kidding me? Artie wasn't on time?
Yeah, I know. It seems Mr. Punctuality. He's wearing the punctuality pin.
That's insane. Listen, anyhow,
okay.
I hope you and Norton help carry the show. And also, don't forget February 9th to Friday. You're on, right?
Yeah, I said yeah. I'm not you. It's not going to have to watch my daughter that day. You tell me to come, I come. That's
I
what
can watch myself.
No, not yet, honey. Last time I did that, come back in the house was fucking burning. All right, talk to you soon, Rich.
All right.
Peace.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Goddamn Twitter, they run around, they fucking squeal.
I know, they do. You can't say nothing.
I didn't even think of it as like an attack piece. I just thought of it as a clusterfucky Compound Media.
Yeah.
Is that their name, Compound Media?
Compound Media.
That's a terrible name.
It did sound kind of made up when you said
I know. When I said I said, and if you go and look at the logo, most of the name on there is Compound Media.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. What are you looking at? Not that. That's not the logo. Chris, that's a bumper. I am not crazy about their new logo at all. That's a bumper. It's the big giant AA, which is going to make people just think of Big A. Look at that.
A big A.
I don't know what it is. It looks like some new fucking crazy Brooklyn beer.
It does.
It like it's
it does have like a
where
craft
you are,
beer vibe.
Can you read Anthony or Artie from here?
No, but you're right. I can read Compound Media.
Yes, you can. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, Artie Lang is a big name. Anthony Cumia is a big name. But from where I'm sitting, I can't. And I get it. AA. Let's make fun of the AA business. Both those guys could use it. You know what I mean?
And I would agree with you. I feel like full name for both of them. Because at the top, it's just Artie and Anthony.
Right.
Give it full name.
I know that, you know, the terrible nickname that's been going around online, right? It's Opiate and Anthony. And I just think that that's wrong.
That's not right.
It's not helping somebody battle their way back.
That's not good.
But anyway, when I talk about clusterfucking,
yes,
I was just tagging at the fact that you guys, we've got signed Mike Tyson gloves.
Yes.
We got, what else signed?
We have signed Jake LaMotta gloves.
Unbelievable fucking price. So they're going, this is the big fight. Can we give out these gloves? I go, yeah. Come up with a game. That's it. Come up with a game to make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I never even get a call back from them. By the way, Gail, months ago, they have been knocking their fucking caveman heads together for 2 months.
We didn't come up with anything at all, and I would love to give away the.
Why is this funny to you, Chris? You're the executive producer.
I know. It's just he's so sad. I'm not happy.
Why are you
about
laughing? This whole thing was your idea.
I know.
What was your idea?
I
Trouble in paradise. Brothers are at it.
The other thing that you're doing football,
Yeah.
You wouldn't have figured that out if it wasn't done for you. You want to be a creative person. You didn't create that game.
No, I did not. No.
But you're able to carry it out once it's there. That's the exact opposite. You know, there's that old fucking Who Moved My Cheese book.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking Chris is basically like, where's the cheese? There was cheese here 2 years ago. Who moved my cheese? Go find a new fucking cheese, dude.
Well,
This was the way. This was going to be your chance to shine.
I think the main thing is that you guys came up with the idea to do something and then didn't come up with the thing to do.
The only thing they could do right now is fucking hammer nails in with their heads.
Don't do that, guys.
Why not? It's something useful. We'd finally get that board put up the way we've always wanted.
I guess we'll save money on hammers.
There's a lot of construction down there.
Now, here's the other thing. We've had that Tyson stuff just sitting in their office for years. The Jake LaMotta sitting in their office for years. And then apparently BL gave me, she said, some keepsakes that would drive me crazy, but I was mad, never opened it up. And it's missing.
It was never found?
It's at my home where I'm storing some stuff.
You stole it?
I did not steal it.
You tried that shit in court. Ladies and gentlemen, I was taking Ron's stuff and storing it in my home.
We have a very full office. I got to store stuff in my apartment.
Because you can't come up with games. You guys could be giving out prizes every week by coming up with games.
Yes, and we have the prizes to give out. There's just tons of stuff.
Right, but that wasn't your idea either.
No.
What I'm trying to say is none of these things, you guys aren't coming up with ideas for yourself.
No, we got a lot of prizes. We got
Can I help
too
you?
many prizes.
First of all, that's because it wasn't your idea.
Yeah.
Because the prizes were supposed to be given out as it went along. Do you want me to help you with something right here, Vito?
Yeah, I would love
Stop
that.
using the word we. You don't want to fucking partner up with this guy. He's just proven between the Buffett that he didn't fucking pull off this year and this. The Jake LaMotta, Mike Tyson fucking prizes. We're going to have to wait till LaMotta dies.
Oh, God. Now it's going to be a sad prize.
But
I hate those.
Sad prize.
They'll be a happy listener, though, when they get the club.
No.
I know you're fucking joking around,
I'm not
Chris, and I
joking.
get it too.
I'm not
I don't
joking.
give a fuck about work. I'm just like you. But I would say this. You could be, I know you're not going to believe this, it could be fun creating stuff.
I like games. We're gonna.
Well, the fact you like them has nothing to do with it.
You don't get to play this game.
Dude.
Maybe this is
Putting
where we have to
together a game.
clarify. This was never going to be a thing that you could win.
Well, let's suppose this was a football team, right?
Yeah.
And you're going, I go, Vito, you're on the football team. Would you say to me, great, I love watching football?
No.
That's what you're saying right now to me, okay? It's like if I put you in a band and you were just like, everybody else is playing, you're on stage like, yeah, you fucking guys are great, you're rocking out. I'm like, you know, I appreciate the kind words. Now I'd like you to play your bass. You know? You're not playing the fucking bass, son. And here's what you're doing. You've picked out a mentor as a guy who's not playing his instrument. And what are we hearing? The sounds of silence right now. And by the way, this has become the only break that you guys do anymore. Is the what the fuck happened break. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I'm glad we're all taking a vacation next week. Because no one needs it more than you two. You know?
Do we look that bad?
No. Your work output is bad.
Yeah.
That's the other thing you're not even saying. I think you're a nice person. I think you're a fucking sweetheart. But if someone said to me, hey, you think Vito could do something else? I'd go like this. Oh my God, no. I want him to do less. I go, I'm afraid he's turning into Chris. He's dressing like him.
Take that headband off for your own good.
What, are you looking into a mirror when you say that? Because I would love it if you were. Now, the craziness of, yes, you said it had nothing to do with yourself, right?
No, it doesn't. No.
No, normally I would say Chris is lame, but I was at that other operation. I mean, I wouldn't know how to even describe it unless I was saying post-apocalypse of some kind. You know what I mean?
No, that paints a picture for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's people for no reason wearing weird goggles. And,
Steampunk.
Yeah, and they're just fucking going through trash to find old cans.
Why is everyone so dusty here?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to talk to someone and they're drinking pineapple syrup out of a can that look like the can is 50 years old. So anyway, but that's what I'm fucking saying right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the important thing. The fucking Navy thing keeps popping up. It's such a sad thing. I'll tell you, if it wasn't for fucking bad news, we'd have no news. If they would just say, now for the good news, and just let the fucking screen go blank for fucking 2 hours. Just in the background, you just hear a woman crying far away. We never. Are we doing the dish this week?
Yes, we tomorrow dish is
Sponsored.
Sponsored
Dish. We don't have time to get to it today because we got a big guest rolling in here. The last thing he wants to do is hear the dish. You feel like you got good information
for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burn one dish thing right now. Something that we don't know that's out there that will be stale by tomorrow.
Okay. Well, over the weekend, Robin Thicke's girlfriend announced that she's pregnant.
Oh,
April.
thick baby. That is one
Apparently,
thick baby.
She let some thick cum get into her.
She's a lot younger than we would
Babies?
expect. She's she's 21.
How old's Thick?
He's 41, I believe.
Here's the thing about Thick. He had that one moment in the sun, that one wonderful summer.
Yeah.
And they said the next summer that he put out an album, it sold something like 6 copies. And I'm
so
not
bad.
fucking even making that up.
It was really bad.
I mean, it was like, it sold like it was a comedy album.
I think I don't think there's ever been like a pop star fall from grace that was that much of a crash.
Hold on, Peter Frampton's on the other line. Let's attack this very quickly. Yeah, I mean, well, that's what happens when it's all about one single. You know what I mean? So we had one single.
And we did have fun with it.
And let's face it, that was more of a producer's and the ripped off lick. You know what I mean?
Because that's really what you liked about it. Like the thing that was ripped off is like the part of that song that's very good.
Yeah.
And the video. That was what everybody really liked, was the naked women in the video.
They were.
I guess there's some truth to that, but the song was good. Like you didn't need to be looking at the video.
Yeah, I think it was a good wedding song.
I mean, the thing is, anyone who likes music got mad and hated the song because they knew it ripped off Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
But that just because it rips off something doesn't mean it didn't rip off the best part of that song either. They should have just replayed Marvin Gaye. Because here's an old Marvin Gaye fucking album with some hot chicks dancing naked to it.
I love this song.
Well, I think after the music video is where we were introduced to Emily Ratajkowski.
Yeah.
That's his favorite.
Chris Stanley loves her. Brings her up almost every day.
Yeah.
That's why you give everyone up the update on what she's up to.
Just
Sitting
this
around
little-
looking hot.
Little baby
but
deer
this
of a
peak
woman.
for her, she's never had the same kind of heat either.
Oh, no. She's had a couple of random roles.
She was in the Entourage movie.
Oh.
She was in a Zac Efron movie that didn't even make it to DVD.
What's that?
We Are Not Your Friends. Or We Are Your Friends. It didn't even. It didn't make it to DVD.
Was that the one where he was
DJ?
Yeah, I watched it on.
You watched it?
Yeah, we watched it on TV one night.
Yeah, it went straight to demand.
And she was in it?
She was in it.
See, it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Well, his ex-wife is I think one of the most beautiful women in the world. Paula Patton.
She's not easy to get along with.
She bitches a lot.
I'd rather have Josh Whedon's fucking ex-wife. Now, what did her think? Like, she's surprised. She's saying that he's not a feminist because he bangs other chicks. You're not going to have any feminists. You set up a fucking thing like that. You know what I mean? Like,
you're not going to have any male feminists.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of people who are pro-women who have a lot of sex, a lot of men.
Yeah, and also, let's not say that always sex is a degrading process, but it's just
no, he didn't do anything,
Yeah.
She was just like,
Now, if you said he rapes women, sure,
Right.
I'm going to have a conversation of why he's probably not a feminist.
But let's look at it. He's a nerdy guy. He became a director, a successful director. He's around beautiful women that throw themselves at him, right?
Right.
There's not too many guys that are going to be able to deal with that.
Also, you could be a feminist and say you're not a big fan of monogamy. Couldn't you say, oh, I don't like monogamy, but I believe that women should be treated equally to men?
Right. No, I would say with that. The big problem, of course, is that, when you're not a big fan of monogamy, but the other person thinks that you are.
Right. That's where things get tricky.
But if you tell the truth, then the thing's going to break up too. You know what I mean? You're trying to get, like, Chris.
Yes.
I was using you as an example.
Yes.
I didn't call on you. I just woke you up.
Present.
Chris was never going to tell me that he never came up with that idea or ask for help with it. He had 2-3 weeks ago to go, Ron, I don't think I can do this. Can you help? Instead, he thought, if I keep it quiet, Ron will forget.
Yeah.
And then today, I just asked him not to set him up, but I'm just like, dude, we only have so much time. What are we doing? Nothing. So, is Chris a liar because he didn't tell me that? He would say no. What do you think, Vito?
Is he's withholding a truth?
Yes.
Were you also withholding a truth?
I was also withholding a truth.
Wait a minute, and you weren't even involved in it. It was me and Chris. How did you become involved in it?
I threw some ideas out that didn't
to me?
work. Yes, that didn't work.
What were your ideas?
I had some Twitter ideas, but we wanted to do something different, and that was where I fucked up.
You wanted to treat it like it was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But not everybody's watching the fucking Super Bowl. I mean, not everybody gets to watch the Super Bowl, but I don't want to tell the listeners here, fucking pay $120 on the chance to win this glove.
Right.
No. I wouldn't tell anybody to watch this fucking fight.
Was there any other ideas that just got dropped?
He had one. I want to rip off the fucking bonsai Super Bowl idea. That's his idea of an idea. You know what I mean?
I had another idea, but I didn't want to bring somebody else into it. But I had an idea to team up with Jerry Cooney, who's always in the hallways.
It would have been fantastic.
But I just couldn't figure out a way to make it work. I wanted to do like a trivia contest with him, but I just didn't know what to do after that step of trivia contest with Jerry Cooney.
So your other idea was just a trivia contest.
Yes, with Jerry Cooney.
Yeah, but the creative part of it is not Jerry Cooney.
Yeah.
It's, you could book him on this show anytime you want. He's a very sweet man.
Yeah.
I would love to have him in. I love him.
He probably would want the fucking, glove for himself.
Well, you'd have to participate in the contest.
The contest that doesn't exist?
Well, the hypothetical contest.
Oh. Now, this is your problem, and it's a tough one to fix. It's just dumbness. I mean, there's just dumb. That's our biggest problem with you.
Dumbness.
Here's what I could do. Tell you that we're going to go out, look for some rabbits, and shoot you in the back of the head.
I don't want to be Lenny.
Perfect.
Please don't make me do
But that's the
Not
kind
so
of
dumb.
That's such a perfect Lenny thing to say. No, you're not, Lenny. You're going to go see rabbits, right? You like rabbits.
I know what happens after the rabbits. I'm like a little smarter than Lenny, where I know the
What would
next
be a
step.
lot easier is you go out to look at rabbits, shoot yourself.
Then you don't have to do any work.
No. None at all. Is our guest around? So I'll break as soon as he is.
They signed in downstairs.
They?
He signed in downstairs.
I didn't know the gender was secret as well.
Is that what you meant? Or did he bring a guest?
No, just he. Just one singular person.
One singular person. All right, so why don't we break so we can bring them in?
Welcome back to Bennington. Adam Ferrara's in studio.
Nice to be back.
Adam's performing at the Funny Bone in Albany this Thursday through Sunday. Go to albany.funnybone.com for tickets.
Adam has this great career, TV, never gives up stand-up, though.
Nah, it's fun.
Always keeps the stand-up going.
First love, man.
First love.
The first thing that's the first time. You ever do something in your life, when you hit a golf ball right, and you get that little ping? You don't have balls, but if you did, they would vibrate when you do something right. So the first time I did
We get that with the ovaries.
You do?
Like this, yeah.
Okay, so that moment where you're like, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I belong here. And that happened the first night I was on stage.
The first night you're on stage, you get that warm feeling.
I got that. Oh, I just been bit hard. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is a kind of a love. Yeah. It's a kind of a love. But here's what's so tough about stand-up. You got to stay on the road. You're in Albany. You're in Kentucky. You're in...
But it's even a life, man. I mean, I just finished a movie. I was in Toronto for 6 weeks. So it's like, you're happy you got it. But, you're away from home for 6 weeks.
Right.
So
that is the truth of anything in the business is like, oh, this is great. I got it. Oh, shit.
And now I got to do it.
I got to
Unless you're living in Branson.
Yeah.
And they're coming to you.
Right.
You're a traveling salesman.
But even when you get a movie, do you still go, oh, I hope I can pull this off? It never feels like...
You get like, it's that weird... It's that fear and desire. Like that desire, I want this. But then you get like, oh God, then the fear I have to do it.
Yeah.
And that's when, my friend's a Buddhist. He's going, you just have to settle into the moment. The fear and desire is what comes to your side. And then I tell him, just go ring your fucking bell.
Right.
But that's what it is. You want it and want it and want it. And then when you get it, like, oh shit, I got to pull it off.
That's also funny about Buddhists. It's like, they're not wrong. It's just that you don't want to hear it.
No. They make it too simple that it pisses you off. You can't do it.
Right.
Like I was born and raised Catholic.
Right.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
He's dead. Your fault. That's where you're starting. It's like, and there's no rules. Like, you had to be, why did I have to be baptized? Because you're dirty. What did I do? But Buddhism, pretty much, my buddy explained to me, it's the human condition is suffering.
Right.
Welcome.
True.
Fixation causes the suffering. Remove the fixation. Remove the suffering. And the fixation is the fear and desire and the want and all that shit.
Yeah.
But you know why the Dalai Lama's happy? He don't have a mortgage.
Yes, that's true.
He travels the world in his pajamas. People open doors for him. Put a bank on your back for 30 years, Dolly. Then come smile at me.
It really is true. Like, it sounds great to drop out, but you have people depending upon you. And then you don't want to hear, well, Daddy's happy now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's doing nothing the way he wanted to.
Yeah, Daddy's high. Daddy can't be high.
Yeah.
Daddy's got bills.
Yeah.
Or like people I know who meditate, and they meditate every day, and they meditate for not 5 minutes, but like an hour.
I do a half hour a day. It's not helping.
It's like, well, you just dropped out in that time. You know what I mean? Like,
I meditate when I'm watching Sports Center. I mean, I'm not doing or thinking.
You shut it all off.
Yes.
You shut the mind off.
If somebody even said to me, what did they say during Sports Center? I go, I have no idea. I couldn't pass a test.
Yeah.
But I see some people running around.
You zone out. You go below thoughts.
Yes.
And
below thoughts.
You're just below thoughts.
So you do meditate?
I do, yeah.
Now, do you have the, what is it? The phrase, the catchphrase?
The mantra, yeah.
The mantra,
I close my teeth clench and I go, son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch. No, I don't have the mantra. I started with a breath meditation, and it's pretty much just trying to examine your thoughts. I have just enough distance on myself to realize I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It's like you get the distance on yourself and you kind of notice your patterns, and it raises your self-awareness. It doesn't make shit go away.
Right.
I'm still an idiot.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes things move in slow motion. Like when you mess up, it's like, I'm fucking up again.
Yeah, here I go.
I can't help myself.
Yeah. I never had, even as a kid, that much interest in myself. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not really interest in myself. It's interest to stop the screaming. It's interest to stop the shit in your head and the anxiety. You get depression, you get anxiety at all?
Yeah, I mean, is not enough that I don't go to work, but I have it as much as anybody else.
Well, do you go home and you're like, I hope Jack's home. Hello, Mr. Daniels. Make it go away. Is it that bad?
No, well, it was. Yeah. I had to quit that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that I do believe that a lot of people that we think of as, addicts or alcoholics, you're just trying to feel a little better.
Yeah,
you're not
just trying to calm the shit. And you look at everybody else, and then it starts the cycle as, well, these guys have it together, it must be me.
Yeah.
Everyone's got problems. Everyone's on a freaking... Right. I mean, you don't know what someone's life is. You see a guy in the subway, he's all dressed, he's got the beautiful... You don't know what he does when he goes home. He puts peanut butter on his nipples, he whistles for the dog. You have no idea what he does.
Yeah, we don't know. But that's also a thing of, like, when you watch TV... Everyone's life looks better. Like if you're watching Entertainment Tonight, you're like, "Oh my God, look at them! They're on the red carpet." I'm not. If I get into that red carpet stuff, I feel like I'm choking to death. I don't want to sit. I would rather watch the Oscars on TV than be there.
Yeah.
Well,
it's much more relaxing.
We're conditioned to think there's this salvation in the future. If I get there, but then when you get there, you got to stay there. And there's the aggravation when you get there. So.
Yeah. So I was at a football game. I was at the Washington Redskins game, and the guy At the time, I don't even think he was 40 yet that owned the Redskins.
Right.
And he not only did
Schneider?
Schneider,
Dan
yeah.
Schneider?
He owns the Redskins and he owns the stadium. So I was, part of a radio thing. So we were right near the owner's box and all that. And there's a big, beautiful bar that's just for the VIPs. And the TV, this giant TV wasn't working right. It was right before the game. And he was fucking screaming and I'm like, so he's not happy. Here's a guy, he owns a football team. He owns a stadium.
He's got to convince everybody that Redskins is not a derogatory name.
Yes. And he's as aggravated as my uncle.
They like it.
Yeah. Some people, and he'll always bring one of those guys in.
Yeah.
They love the name Redskins.
Sure they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it
you're
also
not happy with even you go to a movie studio. Doesn't mean you're happy.
Yeah, and then is the anxiety and there's the, even working we just did this movie. How was I good? Am I going to get fired? It's that whole cycle that goes through it.
How do you know? If you're on stage, the audience is laughing, whether you're doing well.
Yeah, that's the thing about stand. It's instant gratification. There's really no gray area.
Right.
You don't know. I wonder if that joke worked. You know.
And even when you know the joke is good, you think the audience is bad, it still is a hurtful thing.
Oh, yeah.
They're not laughing the way they should be.
Because you've got to look at a bad audience and go maybe I could be the one to make them a good audience.
Because the next guy could. There's some other guy that could go up there and kill. But when you're making a movie, you don't know whether you're part of something. Yeah. You're part of somebody else's vision. You don't know.
Well,
if
you're part of that
it.
Vision, and it also depends on the feedback. The director could be an actor's director where he really works with you, or it could just be like cut, and you don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything at all.
No, and you're like, well, I got the script for tomorrow. I guess I'm still working. Yeah. Send me a call sheet. You get those things.
But you're a good actor. You know how to be small on the screen. You know what I mean?
In the situation you need to be in, I mean, I think this was a comedy, so this was fun,
right?
And I was working with such great people. I was Andrea Martin played
one of my favorite people in history.
Emma Roberts, Hayden Christensen, Danny Aiello is in it. I haven't seen Danny. I'll tell you the story. Last time I saw Danny, unfortunately, was his son was our stunt coordinator on Rescue Me, and he passed away. So the funeral was while we were shooting. And I called my wife and said, honey, put on your black dress, get my suit, come to my trailer, pick me up. We got to go up to the west side with the guys and pay our respects. So we were shooting, so everybody came from work. So I put on the suit in the van. We all went up there. We all lined up, and Danny gave my wife a kiss, kissed me, hugged me, goes, thank you so much for coming. He loved you. And you put on a shoot to show respect, not like these Irish bastards that showed up in corduroys. So I got to tell him that story in the makeup trailer, and he just laughed and laughed. And he's great.
He's unbelievable. Yeah. He's one of the most
He was the head of a
people.
union. He was the head of the Greyhound Union.
Yeah.
And he was a bouncer at the Improv. And
he also, he would do the voice stuff at the, so he knows how to get on, he remembers, I guess it was train or buses. I don't know what he was doing there, but he'll do the next stop is going to be, and he could go through the whole thing, and it sounds like it's 1964 the way he's doing it.
That's awesome.
And the World's Fair, Jamaica, change to Jamaica. Hillside Avenue, take your papers and your coffee cups. Your mother doesn't work here.
But he also, where was that? Did he work the door? Was it the Improv?
Improv, New York. When it was on, I think it was on 44th.
And he never told anybody that he was acting and taking acting stuff. So, David Brenner, went and saw it, and he's like, fuck, the door guy's really good. You know what I mean? The door guy. Who they just thought of as a guy who would grab people and throw them out.
Yeah. You know what's great? And you watch TV, you're like, the door guy's working. The door guy's got a movie.
Yeah.
What am I doing? When things get bad, me and my wife play this game called, he's working? You know, when you watch TV. Sometimes you go, don't come out here. Don't come out until the scene is over. You're going to be pissed.
But it is funny because to 99% of the people, you're always working. But
I'm very fortunate.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate to and I get to do all kinds of comedy, drama. I get to do everything. But it's that need. It's that, it's the same thing in your business. You want this and you want that. We all want. And it's I don't know how to stop. The meditation's supposed to help stop it. I'll let you know when it does.
Yeah.
I can bend a spoon, but I don't sleep well.
By the way, Chris, you don't plug anymore. We're in a situation right now that
you don't hear me bitching about work. I'm sitting right in front of you.
Adam Ferrara is in studio. Adam's performing at the Funny Bone in Albany this Thursday through Sunday. Go to albany.funnybone.com for tickets. Go to adamferrara.com for all of Adam's dates.
But it does feel like to you sometimes, hey, it's not working, right?
Yeah, well, it's a strange existence to have. I mean, that's a nice thing about stand up. I will tell you what happens is if I don't do stand up in a while, I get twitchy.
Right.
I get like, and even when I got through my worst like panic attacks and stuff. You ever get a panic attack?
Sure.
Yeah, so I get those. So when it got really bad, when I first got it, I did not know what it was, and the only thing that helped me was I would listen to my act. Because I could solve those problems.
Wow, that's great.
Like, I would listen to it because I know, okay, that's who I am.
Yeah.
And when I want to write something, I want to write about what I feel because I'm a confessional comic. If I can fix the joke, it gives me a sense of control because that I can fix. That I know why it's not funny. Too many words here. This goes first. This goes second.
Yeah.
So that little puzzle kind of keeps the monkey mind busy and brings me some comfort.
I got a panic attack when I quit drinking.
Yeah.
Right? So when I quit drinking, I just out of nowhere got this feeling, and I didn't know what a panic attack was, and thought, well, I've gone insane, and I've got to keep this quiet. Yeah. I cannot let people know that I'm insane now.
Yeah,
And it wasn't until later it feels a lot less special now because now every single person said, "Oh yeah, I've had a panic attack," but back then nobody said it.
Yeah,
nobody.
And when you first don't,
like the thing that's like crazy about them is that like they're mental and physical both.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in a moment, you're like, I'm either losing my mind or I'm dying or both.
Yeah.
Like that's like the thing that really messes with you because you like, it's scary enough to think you're losing your mind. But then the other thing is that you're going, but I am feeling physical symptoms right
this
now.
is what
like
a heart attack is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or a
I got
stroke
one,
or your vision goes.
Like
or,
when it gets bad, I will wake up in the middle of the night with my heart pounding while I'm asleep.
Yeah.
How the hell do you have a panic attack when you sleep?
Right.
Is there no rest?
Right.
I'm not dreaming. I'm not dreaming. There's nobody chasing me. I'm not falling. I'm just sleeping. And all of a sudden, and my heart's beating. I can feel it. Middle of the night. How fucked up is that?
Now, what do you remember your first?
My first panic attack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember where I was. I was in Atlantic City. I was working in Atlantic City, and it was so bad. I drove home every night. I had a room.
Yeah.
I drove home every night because I had too much energy. I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sleep. And I had to go on stage, and so I was driving back and forth to New York every night. That was the first time it hit me, and I had no idea what it was.
Right.
And I had to be at the Mohegan Sun Casino after that, and I didn't know if I could go on. And my buddy, God bless my buddy, Phil Tagg, flew up from Florida, knocked on my door, and said, "Come on, I'm driving you to work." And he just stayed with me because I didn't know if I could do the show. And he stood in the wings, and I did the show, and I got through it, and no one knew anything. It's like it's so much weird. It's weirder in your head, but it wasn't being projected.
Yeah, like no one's looking at you going, what is with that guy? But that's exactly the way you
but inside you feel like, don't open that box, Pandora.
Chris, you ever had one?
Oh, as a little kid, I remember having one.
Really?
You don't read my plug, you're going to get one right now.
Ferrara. I was performing at the Funny Bone in Albany this Thursday through Sunday. You go to albany.funnybone.com for tickets.
Well, stop acting like it's a secret then. You're mumbling it like you're selling meth.
Yeah. Funny Bone Albany. I was performing there this Thursday through Sunday. Albany.funnybone.com for tickets.
And you think you had them when you were a little kid?
Oh, yeah. Like, looking back on it, I remember being incredibly
so like the
upset.
stress of like just at home.
No, what? I'm agreeing with him. I think I had them when I was a little kid too, but I didn't know what it was. I thought it was.
Now that I look back, I'm like, oh, that's what that summer was about.
Yeah.
In the fifth grade. Oh, my God.
Because I would leave school when I was in kindergarten. I would just fucking leave, and they would freak out over it. Right. I was like, I just don't want to be here. This sucks. I'm getting out the second I get it. But now you're looking back on that, had to be some kind of fight or flight. You know what I mean?
But do you feel like real distant, like the voice? You're like, I'm not connected to anything.
Oh yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
As a kid, you don't know what it is.
Right. But the disconnected thing is the most interesting thing because you feel like maybe the world isn't safe, or you know what I mean? Like just existence itself seems like too much to deal with. You know, it is better to be plugged in. But what's always embarrassing is because it feels kind of special to you, and then when you hear other people say it, you're like, yeah, okay. I thought this was my own great mental illness.
Right.
Like, did you ever see a therapist for it?
Oh yeah, I saw a shrink, and it's like, and they nod their head, yeah.
Right.
Put this under your tongue,
right? Exactly.
And I'm like, okay, and then you go back to what it triggers, but I don't think it's chemical with me. I don't know what it is because if it was chemical, it would be a constant thing, wouldn't you think?
I would think so.
Because I was on antidepressants and I was on anti-anxiety for about 12 years ago, and I was on everything, and then one day I met my wife. I was going through this thing, and I met my wife, and I went, this woman makes me feel better than these pills.
Right.
I threw them out the window. Haven't been back since.
Yeah.
But I still get the ebbs and flows of a little bit of depression here and
depression is weird because you wouldn't think. It seems like it's the exact opposite of anxiety.
Yeah, you get both.
Yeah. You get
anger and depression. That's
Right.
good. I'm sad I want to kill somebody.
Right.
And I can't sleep.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Depression is a weird one because a lot of those, like when you asked yourself, hey, is any of this worth it? That's a bad day. You know what I mean? That is a bad day.
Yeah.
When you say, is it even
Yeah, what am I
to be
doing?
alive?
Why is this this so hard? It's like you're walking in cement shoes.
Right.
I was like, oh, God.
And when you hear people, that's why I don't even like to say I have depression because I see that there's depressed people.
Yeah, this
That's
works.
a
Like
lot
I
different.
can deal with my shit. Like we're just bullshitting about it, but I can function.
Yes,
and I'll be functioning at Albany. What are those dates? I'll be
come on, Chris.
This Thursday through Sunday at the Albany Funny Bone. Go to albany.funnybone.com for tickets and adamferrara.com for
And
all
by the way,
Adam's dates.
amazing performer, great.
Thanks.
You can't hear enough.
But yeah,
about
but it's like when you see people that are seriously
Right. There were like sadness where there's nothing or no reason. That's why I think I deal with more like sometimes I'm a bit manic, but I have like heightened emotion at certain time. But I don't think that I have depression because I've seen people with depression and they're just down. They're just
I don't get I don't even get the benefit of the mania.
Yeah.
I don't even get that.
It can be silly at times.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about that.
I don't even get that window. I just get nap. You're just sad.
You just don't want to have the kind of mania that they have to take your credit card.
Right.
And you're like, this is great.
Yeah.
But
who wants a waffle iron?
I'm making waffles for everybody. I bought 14 irons.
Everyone's getting waffles. Maybe you should have the sugar-free syrup. Don't tell me what to do.
You don't love me.
But well, Chris, you've recently in love, right?
Yes.
And
Good
they
for
are
you.
saying that's the time that you don't want to make a major purchase.
Nope.
Because it's like being on drugs.
Yeah.
When you first, and that's the thing that marriage kind of, the sad thing about marriage, you don't get to have that experience over and over and over unless you can do it secretly and use two phones. But because that is like a fun, manic place to be.
Oh, it's the best place to be. There's no time that is more fun than that time.
Yeah.
And the thing the best you can do is kind of if you have like a partner who you've been with for a long time, you guys can both go, remember how much fun we were having? And then just love that about each other still and be like, well, that's done, but wasn't that a great
was
time?
amazing.
And I like you so much as a person, I'll stick around even though we don't get to do that again.
Right.
Like that's like the best you've got going. But nothing is better than that time.
No, it's fantastic.
It's crazy.
That's when I knew that I had to get out of the shrink's office because I met my wife. I came back and I was talking to the shrink, and I don't want to give you his name, but he was from Poland, so he had that accent, like hello.
You thought he was going to be.
He
good.
looked like Hitchcock. He's like, that kind of shit. So I was telling him, I said, I met this girl. He goes, this is the second time you've been here. Why do you think this woman is so ethereal? I said, because she is, you dick. And that's when I went, I'm happy. Are you pissed off? I'm happy.
Right.
I go, is this, the cash cow's ending?
Yeah.
Can I have this moment, please? Why am I fighting for you? I'm fighting for my happiness in front of you. And that's why I said, I got to go.
I've said this before about therapists. If you go in sad, they try to make you happy by the time you leave.
Right.
But if you go in happy, you're going to leave there sad. They're going to go, okay, here's the next thing that about you that doesn't work.
You told that to me, and it was like totally eye opening. Like, oh, that does happen 100% because there's plenty of time. All they're doing is like, let's alter the state.
Yes.
Let's look at, okay, you're feeling this, but why not look at a different perspective? And once in a while you walk in there and go, today was a really good day. A lot of things worked out. And then they're going to be like, interesting.
Right.
Let me motherfuck you so bad on this.
Doc, I'm really happy. Really? I don't see how. Look at you.
What do you mean?
My God, if I was you, I'd stay away from the knives and the mirrors.
I think that's why we need to figure out how to make smoking healthy because it is a pastime.
Weed?
No, just cigarettes.
Right.
Just stepping outside and having a cigarette.
The vape can't be healthy.
It can't be. No,
It's not.
no.
I was doing e-cigs for a while, and I was like, there's no way this is a better
Chinese chemicals.
Yeah, it's just not hot, but there's still stuff coming out of my face.
I'm breathing it in.
It's cool, but I got a 60. I got the muffler of a '63 Pontiac. This is not fun coming out of my head. But I used to smoke. Yeah, and there was that moment, that coffee and cigarette moment, when the caffeine hits you, and then there was the alcohol cigarette moment.
Yeah.
And you're on the phone with a cigarette. And you're on the toilet with a cigarette. I'm driving, let me light a cigarette.
Yeah. I can feel really good. Like, I deserve this.
Yeah. But then there's that moment where it turns around, then the need kicks in.
The need
Again,
is
the
rough.
fear and desire stuff.
Yeah. I remember when they said, all right, they're going to ban smoking on airplanes, and they said people will go nuts if they can't smoke on an airplane, and we don't.
Yeah.
But it's weird that when they first brought it up, everyone went, "Oh no, there'll be a riot on the plane.
Yeah,
people will demand to smoke."
That's like saying just hold your breath on a plane. Like it seems crazy when you're a smoker
Yeah,
to
but
think.
they all. I mean, you see him at the airport. When I go to New York, LA all the time, and he's just twitchy. We made it again.
It is. There's another thing. Like you don't want the that ever to end. You don't want to be on the airplane and go like this. This is weird, isn't it? Being up in this.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Do you ever like pull into an airport and you see a plane taking off? You're like, well, that looks nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That looks like a nutty
I got a
thing to
panic
happen.
attack on an airplane once.
Did you?
Yeah. It wasn't that bad. I've had them before, so I could deal with it, and I knew what it was. But I was just like, I was almost like, there's a man on the wing of this plane. It was almost that. It was that weird, that Twilight
There's
Zone
a
shit
man
on the wing of this plane. But yeah, I got one up.
That might be the greatest of all time. And he's just tearing a fucking lion.
Yeah.
You see him? No. He's not out there.
Why do you look like Captain Kirk? Shut up.
But yeah, that's no place to have a panic attack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I quit drinking too. So it's like that's one of the reasons I quit drinking, because I didn't sleep well. Like I would get loaded,
right?
And you get that first 3 minutes, then you wake up, you're sweaty, and the monsters come out.
Yeah,
you know? And so that's when I I can't do this. And I like bourbon, and I was getting good at it.
Right.
You know, the booze and the cigarettes and
those things. They serve a purpose till they don't. That's the sad thing about it. It's like something works and it works and it works, and now it doesn't work. You can't even believe it. You're like, how could that not work? It's always worked.
Can I just have one thing?
That's
please?
all I ever think. Yeah.
The world is constant change. I told you to ring the bell. Get out of here.
How could you not come up with a chocolate that's good? Why? Why is anything? Why aren't I fucking craving broccoli if it's so good? No one's ever driving around looking for a fucking vegetable steak like a maniac.
Yeah. If I don't get some broccoli, Rob, I'm going to shoot somebody. You know what? And then when things work and they go away, you know.
Yeah.
But then I blame myself. That's the other thing. I beat myself up, so I blame myself. Because now I can't see the beauty anymore. I'm like, oh, great, another fucking sunset every night with this bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like I got to yell at that. It's got to be me, Ron.
Yeah, it's you. It's definitely you. It's hard to, well, like you said, it's suffering, but it is hard to do life on a constant basis.
Yeah.
You know, you get, it's like being in baseball. You get a hitting streak and then you fucking hit a rough spot, you know? Chris, plug, please. This is a great performer here.
Adam Ferrara's in studio. Adam's performing at the Funny Bone in Albany this Thursday through Sunday. You go to albany.funnybone.com for tickets, and you go to adamferrara.com for all of Adam's
And
dates.
you're recently in love now.
Yes,
This is what I hear.
Yes.
All
It's
right.
very good.
You got
Fantastic.
married?
No, I'm not getting married. No.
No.
But-
you want to screw it up?
Yeah,
or?
but I think he is.
What if someone said you have to get married or you can never see her again?
Oh,
right
then we
now?
get married.
See?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
So what are you waiting for?
Just do it.
Because she's Costa Rican?
Is that the problem?
It's not a problem. It's a good thing.
Oh, let me ask you something. 'Cause I'm new to the situation. Have you met her, or is it just online?
No, yes. It's like 5 months.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know the whole thing. So you've physically seen her?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
good.
yes, yeah.
Is she's in this country, or is she in Costa Rica?
No, she's in this country. She's in New York City.
All right, she's in the city.
Yeah.
All right. And
great.
does she want to get married?
I don't know. We're just enjoying
And you
each
love
other.
her.
Oh, I love her.
It's never come up.
You haven't brought up, like, what are your feelings on marriage? Like, even just, like, as a concept?
You never brought up, do you like children?
She sort of likes kids. She said she wants to.
You like cake? See those two people on the top of it? Anything?
No, what did she say about babies?
She'd rather adopt.
She'd rather adopt.
That's good.
Interesting.
Yeah,
She's into like saving
It's
children.
not easy.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's not easy too, but it's it's not easy, but in a way, it's like let me look into what's your resume.
Right.
You can see where
The other thing is you don't have to love them. You could just be helpful to them. You know what I mean? You're just like, hey, this is better than where you were before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the best guy in the world, but you're eating.
I mean, this doesn't
You can be like Fred Mertz. I'm a landlord, Fred
Mertz is a great reference.
You're Fred Mertz. You're not going to get too close.
So this may happen for you, Chris. It may not.
I think it's probably heading towards that way, but I think more towards than may not.
Wow.
Okay.
This is a big difference.
Where did you meet her?
I met her at a party a year ago, or more than a year ago now, and then met her again 5-6 months ago.
Oh, okay. Now, do you live together?
No, but we stay each other's places every night. We stay each other every night for 5 months, so it's like we're living together.
Did you tell her you love her first? Or did she tell you you love her?
I told her I loved her first.
And did she pass out, or did she?
No, she says she reciprocated.
That's great.
Yeah. Chris has a rent-controlled apartment that he was basically born
that's
into.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's a good listener.
Yeah.
Housing.
Cheap housing.
He's paying $700 a month in New York City.
I love you.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'll move in with you.
Yeah, $700 for a 1-bedroom in a good neighborhood.
Where?
Oh my God.
Astoria.
That's great.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's insane. Yeah, it's like $2,500 for the.
How did you get that?
Oh, dead parents.
Oh, okay.
He was born. Was it your grandmother's apartment first?
My grandmother's apartment first. Yeah.
You have to have kids just to keep that in the family. You can't
Yeah,
adopt.
really.
They're not
You're
going
gonna
to give
let
that
go
to
of it.
adopted kids.
Now, if she moved in with you, right?
Yeah.
And you did die, does she get the apartment or is she out?
I think
She's out.
2 years. You have to be there. You have to actually, you just have to get mail sent to the address in your name for 2 years under New York State law or New York City law.
It's a really strange law.
Yeah.
And it used to be a common thing, but it's very rare now to run into people with this.
You never see it, yeah.
Because they don't do it now.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Like, there's not a new rent control.
No.
But what they do is they have, with the new buildings, they get a break if they put some rent control people in there.
Yeah, but only for like a couple of years, and then get out. Look, the New York City does not want the middle class. The George Washington Bridge is $15.
Right.
It's the same bridge.
Right.
There's no meal.
Yeah.
There's no show. The car's not washed when you're on the other side. It's the same thing.
And the bridge is built. Are you telling me the upkeep is $15
How much
a head?
it costs to sweep the friggin' bridge?
Yeah.
There's wind.
Yeah.
The wind blows the dirt off.
No, the system is being set up, and is being set up now at the Tappan Zee Bridge, where you don't stop for tolls anymore.
No.
You either have the Easy Pass or they bill you at home.
And when you get a rent-a-car, I had to go through that in Boston because there's no... New York, there's a guy with his hand out. Where do you think you're going? Give me the money. We ain't waiting for nothing, right? Boston, I'm getting these tickets. I'm like, what the hell is this? And now, every time I rent a car, I just get the
Easy Pass,
And I got to pay juice for the Easy Pass every day.
But they also... They're going to charge you more if they got to send you a thing.
Yeah, so-
and they're going to go, you'll get a break by the Easy Pass. No, the Easy Pass is the fucking established price.
Yeah.
You're just hitting up
Penalizing.
people. Yeah.
The Easy Pass comes, the guy gives you, be ashamed if somebody mailed your ticket. And I'm being shaken down by an Easy Pass.
It's true, though. It is very true. But the thing is like, you're right. Why is that area you got to pay for? And then you don't if you're driving somewhere else.
Yeah. There's people that own roads.
Yeah.
There's a company in Australia that owns a couple of highways. And I think in Washington or someone.
Yeah.
A corporation in Australia owns that road, so he gets all the toll stuff. So someone that doesn't pay their toll, he can sue them, and
it's crazy.
You own a friggin'. It's not like Adopt a Highway,
right?
They own the road,
a privately owned road that reminds you of like the fucking like a fairy tale where somebody's saying you can't go over the bridge.
Right,
You're like, oh,
the Burgermeister Burger.
You can't go over a bridge. Well, Chris, I hope it works out for you.
That's good.
I hope so too.
And is she? What does she do?
She works for a startup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could possibly be a little more vague. You don't know, do you?
No, she works for a startup, but her job is very confusing. I'm not
Is
sure
it
what
an
she does.
online startup?
It's online. It's on the internet.
She have to show her feet on a camera or something?
No,
That's
she's not
great
camming.
if she
She's
does.
not camming.
Oh, that's what it
That's not a
is. Cam
startup.
girl.
She's not a cam girl.
No.
Yeah, we're going to Paris next week for a week, so that should be fun.
This is what you'd be afraid of.
You don't know what she does. It's online, and you're going to Paris next week.
Yeah, that's right.
Why do I get the feeling people are like just inputting instructions? Now lift your left leg.
Oh, God, no.
Well, if she says to you, "Oh, Jim Norton, I know him," you're in.
Then it's like, oh, fuck.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Why do you keep getting tokens from people? That's weird.
Bitcoins.
Yeah, Bitcoins.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're.
Do you know, I used to be obsessed with that Bitcoin business.
Yeah.
The other day, I'm watching, I think it was CNBC. It's a business show, and they started to talk about Bitcoins as if it was a real thing.
It's only gone up since like I was first like really obsessed with it. So I think it was a few $100 then. Now it's I think at $3,000.
And didn't they say they were going to get rid of it so it wasn't real? But here they were treating like a real thing on the business show.
Well, now there's IBM backed something else called Ethereum. That's like another Bitcoin type cryptocurrency.
Oh, I can't.
And like giant companies are backing it, so that's fucking going.
Here's
up.
the thing. I tried to understand. I was reading an article about Bitcoins, what they are, how it works. And about halfway through, I go, not only do I not understand this, I don't even understand how government currency works anyway.
No, neither do geniuses.
So I'm just like, yeah, this isn't going to be something that I understand.
Yeah, this is when I realized I'm an old Gindaloon. I walk around with cash. And
I was telling these guys all the time, it's why my credit doesn't suck. I try to pay cash anywhere I can.
Here you go.
Let me give you some cash.
I don't know.
You know that cab drivers are surprised they sit there when they stop, and I got my money out, and they're just sitting, and I go
staring at it.
This is cash.
This is
Turn around and take it from me.
I could have just
There's
ran
a little
out of
something
here.
for you there.
Who's the guy with the ponytail?
They think that I'm swiping something back there, and I'm like,
and I always do this, like when you got to buy something. I was raised such a gangster. I go, all right, it's what? It's 400. About 350 green. And what?
Does anybody negotiate these days?
The people
like
that know do, yeah. Green? Oh, yeah.
Because they know they don't have to put that on the books, and it's better for everybody.
This goes in the pot. You'll be fine. Thank you. A little something for you. Buy the kids an ice cream.
But even at the comedy clubs, the girls will say there's not enough cash around at the end of the night. They don't want to fucking get everything on their credit cards.
Yeah, it's annoying.
So they'll say, can you say, hey, everything goes faster if you pay cash? As a way of just, let's actually have a transaction.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's an IOU. A credit card's an IOU. It's not
someone's making this juice going to the credit card company.
Yeah. That's all they live on. They live on the fact that Vito's going to pay the minimum. There's a heavy vig no matter where you go, Vito. You should know that.
Yeah, I am avoiding everything I can with this new credit card because I'm just so afraid of ruining my credit.
It's not going to last.
Do you have good credit?
Well, the biggest mistake I ever made was I got a water cooler when I was making a lot of money.
Got a water cooler?
I got when I was making a lot of money bartending. I decided to live extravagantly, and I got a water
Should I get a retirement plan? Maybe a car?
No, you know what I want? This warm water's not for me no more. I'm gonna get my own personal cooler.
So this is like
keep this shit cold because I have arrived. I'm moving on up.
So this
Cup
is like
for everybody.
at an office building. You had a private water cooler.
I had a private water cooler in my apartment, and when I had company over, I'd bring them over to the water cooler because it was just cold water when I got home from working at the bar till 4 a.m. I just wanted to replenish my thirst.
You had a refrigerator, right?
So it cost $8 a month for the water cooler itself, but you had to have a minimum of 5 coolers per month, but I would go through them, so I was getting around 8 to 12 per month.
Of this, just like big jugs.
Of 5-gallon jugs. So then I changed my card, and they didn't have it on file.
Right.
And I then lost my job at the bar. So I just avoided them for 2-3 months.
Smart.
Then I started getting calls from a creditor company because they handed me off to somebody else.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Sell the debt.
And my late fees had amounted up to $1,000 for this water cooler. So my credit got destroyed by that.
$1,000 in water.
For free water.
For water.
Just keeping it.
I was living large.
Pocket the cash and wait till it rains. What the hell are you doing?
I really liked having a water cooler.
These were the choices you made when you had money in your pocket.
Did you consider maybe just buying a pitcher and then putting that into your fridge?
Did you consider buying a fridge?
I had a fridge. I lived with 3 other people.
You had the fridge.
They would drink my water, and they would drink my water bottles, and they would never fill up the pitcher.
Those sons of bitches.
So this was my new thing where I was like, you know what, I'm just going to get a water cooler, and this is my water cooler.
You must drink a lot of water, though. Huh?
I drink a lot of water. I drink. When I get home, I go through 5 bottles. Like by the first hour, I'm home.
I hope you
piss
recycle.
away your credit.
Literally.
God bless you.
Yeah.
So you passed that crisis. Now you got enough. You built your credit up enough to get a card.
Yeah.
Right.
And now I just use it for expenses,
Right,
and
good.
I have student loans to pay off too. So my credit's
Right.
still building between those two things.
Okay. And did you ever walk past like a Deer Park store going, one day, you Aquafina, you evil temptress, you.
When I have money, I will get back into the water cooler.
Yes, you will.
Now his college sent him back 100 G's. So here he is. He's 22 years old.
Yeah.
And he owes 100 G's.
100 large?
Yeah.
And you're 22?
24.
24.
Now, but when you came out of school,
when I came out of school, I was 20. I was 150 in student loans.
And you got the balls to drink water.
Well, I was bartending at the time, making a lot of money. I was just making money just left and right. It was a great time in my life.
God bless you. You didn't study business at college, did you?
No, he was filmmaking, of course.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Went to film school, and there's a lot of great
You know what you could
opportunities.
do with 150? You could have made a fucking film.
Yeah?
You could have made a film.
Made your mistakes there.
No, instead I spent 150 on film school, and then I put 1,000 into the movie I made senior year, and then the sound came out bad, so I couldn't really do anything with it.
Right. All right. Hey, look, Waterworld Dogs too.
Yeah.
That was a terrible film.
And the problem with the sound is that it was good enough that we could hear your dialogue. That was the sound problem. What, Chris?
I want to let everyone know Adam Ferrara is in studio. Adam's performing at the Funny Bone in Albany this Thursday through Sunday. You go to albany.funnybone.com for tickets, and you go to adamferrara.com for all of Adam's dates.
Great comedian too, by the way. Now, where's your favorite place to work in the country?
Well, there's a bunch of different places. I love going home. I just Governors this weekend, and it's just like being home. It's like being home because I grew up on Long Island, so I could just talk to them. So that's always fun. Gotham's always a great gig. My in-laws are in San Francisco, and I really like San Francisco. Chicago's really good to me. The Improv in Chicago, Tony there. I like Tony's place.
San Francisco
DC's good. The
yeah.
Improv in DC.
San Francisco, the thing about it is that city, it's a real city.
Yeah.
People you call a lot of places cities that really aren't, they have a little bit of a downtown and then suburbs. But when you get to San Francisco, you could be like, oh, I've been here for a month and I haven't left the city.
Yeah.
Philly's a good city too for me.
Yeah.
I like Philly.
Well, Philly and Long Island have more of a spiritual connection than you would think.
Yeah.
They're the same kind of people.
Yeah,
they're wise asses that still throw hands to this day. There's certain places that didn't catch on that you stop punching. And Philly is one of those cities that they will punch each other at all times.
They threw snowballs at Santa Claus at the
like my uncle said, though, that was the worst Santa Claus he ever saw in his life. Right. He said he was thin and not much of a beard.
Nah.
But yeah, they do have that reputation as just awful and mean sports fans. Yeah. But every game is sold out. Like they draw. They draw there. It's not like some of these cities, just because your team isn't winning, they don't show up. People show up, but then they treat the home team terribly.
There used to be the jail at the vet.
Yeah.
They had a jail.
I don't know why it wasn't full time. I don't know why they just weren't rounding people. And they could have had a firing squad at the vet, and it would not have slowed anything
Halftime.
down.
We don't need a band.
Yeah.
We're going to settle some grievances.
But that's when you did... Like, football was so different in the way that the game itself, if you played, you really had a hometown advantage. Now that there's richer people going to games, it's not as scary to go into Pittsburgh as it used to be.
Yeah.
When the Redskins were at JFK, that fucking place used to physically, that building would bounce up and down. Yeah. And you're like, oh, we're not getting out of here alive. And now you go, they're out in Virginia and people are having cocktails and, they don't care whether they win or lose.
You can't afford to go. Guy can't bring his kids to the game.
Right.
You can't afford to go anymore. I mean, last game, my father was alive last time we went to Giants Stadium, went to a Monday night game with the Giants. We were in a box. And it was still sitting in traffic. We had our own bathroom. We had the best possible conditions. And I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Nice. All right, we're going on.
Well, it's $60 to park or whatever.
Yeah.
$60.
And then the tickets.
Yeah.
You want to buy the kid a hot dog. You want, forget it. You're done.
It's very, very expensive.
Daddy, I want a jersey. We need a cosigner. I can't.
He can't do it.
Can't do it.
Well, the other
I
thing,
could have got you one, but I got all that water when I got out of college. They're still chasing me.
you'll be when you're at the stadium and you're watching the game, and then they'll just stop playing for you're like, what is going on? They're like, oh, it's a commercial break.
TV timeout.
You're like, what the? You're supposed to be keeping up with the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have the game stop for you, but TV is where the money is.
That's what any given Sunday when Al Pacino was going. It's when their concentration became more important than our concentration. That's when the game changed.
That movie is both terrible and incredibly watchable.
Yeah. I'll stop every time it's on. Steaming, Willie Beeman. Oh, we're staying here. I'm here.
And everyone's doing the dance.
I'm here. Why did you tell me I could have gone another way? I'm staying.
The Sharks. What your dad knew about the Sharks?
Yeah. That's what life is. It's the 6 inches in front of your face.
Adam Ferrara is in studio. Adam's performing at the Funny Bone in Albany this Thursday through Sunday. You go to albany.funnybone.com for tickets and adamferrara.com for all of Adam's dates.
Chris, why don't you take a ride up and maybe you can bring him on
Chris,
stage.
come with me.
You know? Take a drive up.
That'd be nice.
Bring your girl with you.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Has she been upstate? Does she understand our country?
Yes, she understands.
Does she understand our country?
She's not going to bring 2 live chickens in.
Yeah.
For you.
It's not a cockfight.
We see this good layer. Eggs for you.
Is it weird for her to be here in this?
No.
Yeah.
What?
Where she's like looking at Vino and going, a man here could own a water cooler. America has everything.
Everything is here for you can drive a golden car. They give you money.
Now, do you think she's kind of roots against America like a lot of third world people do?
I think she's pro-America.
But I mean,
treat her well.
You think now, but like, 9/11, was she giggling a little bit or was she upset?
That I haven't asked her about that.
Did she go like, uh-huh?
I don't think she's not a Muslim.
I was saying Costa Rica wasn't.
Yeah.
Were they mad at us?
I don't know what they're up to. They
Costa Ricans?
Yeah. Well, I'll
a lot
say
of
this.
casinos. Beautiful country.
Chris thought that they were an island.
I would have sworn to God that place was an island. I had no idea it was on land. It's connected to fucking rest of Central
Don't
America.
adopt a kid with this woman. Once she really gets to know you.
Right. She knows that you don't have the geography it takes to be a father.
Oh, God, no.
Don't ask your father.
Here.
Is there any tests before this?
This is Google Maps.
Yeah.
Honey, Luxembourg, that's in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know maps a little bit, Chris.
I didn't realize the geography was going to be so important.
It is important to everything.
I know. I just have this fucking phone. It just tells me where I got to be.
So you're going to believe your phone?
You didn't have a phone when you were in elementary
Gotta be real. I saw it on the internet.
I got old school maps like Magellan. I lay them out on
Scrolls. There's a skull, a cross zone. There's an old man blowing the wind.
Isn't that weird that these guys were able to make maps before we had airplanes to get up above it? So somebody's sitting there working on the coast.
Yeah, that's really
What
weird.
was it? Vespucci? Is that his
Amerigo
name?
Vespucci.
Yeah. And he's working on a map of the United States based on what? Seeing it from the outside?
Ayahuasca.
Really
Here, drink this. Draw the pictures you see. Well, Columbus could pull the horizon. He would look at the horizon and chart with stars and stuff.
Unbelievable.
God, I can't, without the GPS, I can't get to Jersey. This guy is coming, and he did it 4 times. He found his way back 4 times.
It's
in shitty boats.
unbelievable to leave in a wooden boat and be able to make it across there.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
With what? They had salted meat.
That's it.
And then you've got to go, anytime you're getting on a ship, you're going, so a lot of us are going to die.
Yeah.
But we will get there probably.
No, yeah, like
no, you won't. He thought he was in India. He had no idea. This is good enough.
But you're just telling people,
Fine,
like,
it's land, and I gotta pee.
Those things were probably not as safe as rocket ships when we were shooting people. And you probably had more percentage of people dying.
Yeah.
Trying to go across the ocean. And then some of these people took kids with them. What are you, fucking maniac? You had to be out of your mind to do shit like that.
Yeah, they should have been like, I'd like to go to America, but I have kids. I mean, I'm not going to
listen, I can't get a sitter.
But you had to have nothing in Ireland to get on that boat.
Well, that's why you got on the boat. You're like, hey, look, I'll roll the bones. I got nothing here.
we're running out of potatoes. What are we gonna do?
All right, we got to end the show. Adam, you're the best.
Always good to see you, my friend.
You are just great. You talk about anything.
Adam's performing at the Funny Bone in Albany this Thursday through Sunday. You go to albany.funnybone.com for tickets, and for all of Adam's dates, you go to adamferrara.com.
Cool. Oh, and if you want, tomorrow night I do this thing on Facebook at 9 o'clock. My wife holds up the camera on Facebook Live. You guys can ask me any questions.
Any questions?
And we talk about everything. It's pretty much my wife holding the camera up and me going, "Don't say that. We're live, you asshole."
Yeah. Now, did she get on with you? Do you guys still do it as well? It's great.
And it's fun. We got there's 5,000-6,000 people come back every week. How was your day? And we just talk.
Isn't that weird? That's a show now.
It's just a connection. We just talk about stuff, and and we look forward to doing it.
And look what everything Lucy and Desi had to go through to have a show, and now you can just go.
And he owned it.
Yeah,
that's how smart Desi Arnaz was.
People don't.
Was he Costa Rican? No, he was Cuban, right?
By the way,
which is an island.
Even when they shoot a sitcom, right? Mm-hmm. They put the cameras the exact same place Desi did. He came up with the 3-camera shoot, all that.
Yeah.
No one has ever come up with a better idea than the first guy who did it. It's kind of fascinating. And then he went home and beat Lucy. Yeah. So,
what does she get upset about? They're just hookers. I don't care about them.
All right. We'll see you guys again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!